All right, let's not waste too much time. Hey guys, if you're not following my backup page, there you go in the box. I'm gonna start bringing up different guests. Oh man, let me talk to Pharaoh first before I get into disagreement. It's been a while, Pharaoh.
Yo, what's going on? I didn't even realize I didn't realize I sent the request. I disagree
Oh,
with that Muslim cap that you have on, that Islamic cap. What's the significance? Tell me, brother, what's the significance of that? Have you been to Mecca?
it's a traditional hat. It's an African hat. It's not Islamic. Who told you that it's
So
Islamic?
so
Look,
how did they
like this
convince?
one, like this one. You see, there's different types, and it
Okay.
goes it goes with different regalia. You see,
Mm, mm.
you know, like,
So
different traditions around the world wear hats, and in terms of fashion, Afro culture influence all those cultures up there. So don't be surprised that when you see them doing some things, even certain practices in their religions originate with us Africans.
thanks for explaining that to me. Yeah, I feel like now that I know we got hoodwinked because you know I'm American, right? I don't know much about African culture. I always thought that part of the Islamic kind of culture was set because black Africans had Islam in their culture way back. I think it was you or another brother that told me that the religion really, I mean, go ahead and tell me.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Keep saying what you're saying.
Yeah, I always thought that, our ancestors were believers and they believed in this, and I thought, yeah, you can see the kind of the Islamic root, and I thought that was the attraction for black folks here in America, was that it had some grounding in some African culture. So I felt like, kind of like, when Malcolm was going back, I felt like he was going back to some African culture. At least that's the way it was spun and sold to us here in black America.
Are you talking just about regalia, how people dress, or are you talking about the broader culture?
Both. I mean, the regalia and the broader culture, because I thought that countries in
Hmm.
Africa actually were originally like believers, and that's, like Islam sprouted from African roots.
No, Arabian roots, right? Muhammad. So, okay, by the time that Islam sprung up, the Arabs were already buying and trading black Africans. Okay, so that kind of affected the rise of Islam, and there was a lot of racism in the beginning. There were efforts within the Islamic cleric at different points in time. They would speak out against, mistreating your slave. It's, I see more as an accommodation, right? You speak to other people, they give you different opinions. I mean, I reckon nobody really knows for sure because we weren't there. However, the relationship between Islam and Africans goes very far back. You're correct. One of the earliest converts were black North Africans, right? Some came to be known as the Moors. They were the ones that invaded Spain. They were the ones that ruled over Spain for the 800 years that black people, we like to brag about, right? Because we always like to brag about shit in the past. Anyways, we brag about, hey, black people ruled Europe for 800 years. I see that on the internet. However, those specific black people, they were majority Muslims. Those were black Africans that converted to Islam. And they were taking that Islam with them into Europe. And the Europeans weren't going to stand for it. You know? Eventually, they got pushed back out. You know the story of the Crusades. I don't need to tell you about that.
Yeah.
Muhammad, I guess, and I just learned this through debates as well. That apparently Muhammad had like a certain slave, and I guess something about, I'm not even sure. You know what? I'm not gonna try to represent Islam if I'm not sure.
It's just amazing to me because I really thought that there was some connection with going back to Africa and stuff like that, because there's many, strong black folks that convert to Islam. I mean, if a black person goes to prison, gets locked up for some time, the chances are high that they might come out with a religious affinity, and that religious affinity is going to be Islam. It's not going to probably be Christianity. Mike Tyson,
Listen,
I mean,
listen,
Muhammad.
bro.
Yeah.
Let's not even pretend. Okay, despite all our criticism of religion, it's not like religious people are like 0 point stupid humans, right? They know how to build organization, to build structures. And when we look at it, you and I, for example, we actually see them being way more political, way more greedy. We see the system being more corrupt than the secular world. But religious people, especially Muslims, bro, those are very like educated people by nature. Their religion encourages them to educate themselves. So I can see Islam being a religion that's appealing to different types of people at different points in time, just like Christianity is. That's why it's no strange things that converts go back and forth, right? You have in some areas people going from Islam to Christianity, and then in some areas from Christianity to Islam. The conversion rate that I'm curious about that I don't know is the conversion rate from how many people go from being Buddhist to Christian and vice versa, and then maybe Buddhist to Muslim.
From one frying pan to the next. All of this
Hey,
stuff. You know what I mean?
hey, bro, aren't we
Bro,
aren't we aren't we all in some type of frying pan, Pharaoh? What do you think about what your boy Donald Trump is doing, man?
I mean, here's the thing. The difference is that when you know certain things, right? And you're
Mm-hmm.
trapped in the frying pan, at least you know. At least you could say, yeah, I'm trapped. This is a messed up situation, but it's based on reality. A frying pan that really, you feel the heat, but it really don't exist. That's what I'm embarrassed about, that I was in for so long and I had to snap, you know, out of it, because the thing is
Bro,
that.
I like that word, snap out of it. It is almost like a snap. Because if you don't, bro, it's probably one of like the easiest things to procrastinate. A part of you knows exactly what you should do, but a part of you is comfortable in it. And you're probably wondering if it's a worthy battle or fight to rebel against your whole system. You keep finding ways to make it work, right? Kind of like that girl that is in love with that toxic guy that keeps going to prison, that beats the shit out of her, but she still just stays with him no matter what. Until until
Masochism, massive
right,
masochism. It likes
right.
it likes the feeling. Well, I was never in that camp, bro. If something's not good for me, I
Oh,
don't want to keep
oh,
returning. I really thought that I had some, and I think that that's what it is. People stay in it because they feel like they already have an investment. Like I can't go to my grandparents and tell them, "Hey, listen, there's no God," because they've already invested a lot of days and money and energy into this heaven, and it would be just it's a depressing thought, bro. I
right.
mean, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to put them through that. So I let them go. But folks that are like younger, this generation is 2026, bro, I just don't understand it.
I mean, bro, I don't know why you deconstruct it. Like I said, it's kind of like the same level of respect, right? Regardless of if a person is a believer or not. Because you know that I went from to disrespect you and you were still on that camp. And the same way as it is right now. But I don't know what your motivations are. For me though, bro, what's the real truth? Like, okay, there is no God, obviously. But then evolution tells us that we can go as far back as what? Abiogenesis? Am I correct? Abiogenesis, is that as far back as we go with evolution?
I mean, evolution really doesn't give a specific starting point, as it shouldn't,
No, I just
but the
mean like in the
abiogenesis,
school of
yes,
study. Yeah.
yes, that's the
Okay.
first living organism that arrived from a non-living organism, and a test has been done in that we can create the amino acids from
Mm-hmm.
carbon and other chemicals. I think there's three chemical compounds and electricity, so we know that it can be done. It's just the environment um, had to be ripe, for abiogenesis to take root, not route, my bad.
Regardless of what made the abiogenesis, right? I'm not even too concerned about that as much as the processes that come before the abiogenesis that we don't yet know. That obviously, following the same genuine, practical methods of investigation, there will be a generation of humans that would know. Maybe 200, 300 years from now. That's what I want to know. I want to know all the revelations. If it was possible for me to know the peak of human science and discovery, the information that comes through there, I would want to have that knowledge rather than exploring myths and storytelling.
We're gonna get there as humanity. Here's the thing.
Yeah, I feel like everyone should be hungry for
The
that.
world is moving very fast. Yeah, we are. The world is moving very fast. We're in an age where technology and it's moving at a rapid pace, AI and everything. But you know what? This is the slowest point that we will ever be in the history going forward. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
that's
where we're
crazy.
at is so fast, but it's slow compared to where we will be going forward. We're gonna get the answer. I mean, imagine us being able to travel at the speed of sound now. I mean, that's something that if you look, you know what I'm saying? If you look at folks 800 BC, they, and how they were moving around and how we can move around now, the technological advancement that we have done is incredible. It's just the naysayers or those that want instant gratification. They want that cookie right now that force themselves to say, since we don't know this, or who taught you that, or how did you know this? Those are the ones that will always convince themselves that they have to put an imaginary being in that gap. There's no other way to explain it.
I'm trying not to be rude, bro. I'm really trying my best. I think I'm past the raw days where I just beat people up with words. I think it's time to do slow surgery now into people's minds. Because I think, okay, think of believing in God as being the source of all things or whatever the religion tells you, whichever one you believe in. Think of think of it as a kindergarten's graduation. But and the kindergartner, what he learns in kindergarten is that God created the world. But past kindergarten, he has to now learn that, well, God didn't create the world, just like Santa Claus did not bring you gifts. There's a whole nother level of wisdom and knowledge and education past kindergarten. Imagine dropping the idea of God at that level. That's where I feel like religious people, when you're in a religious state, in a state where you believe in God, I feel like your intelligence, an aspect of your intelligence is limited to a kindergartner's level of thinking.
I
It's
agree.
amazing to see. I wonder if I explain myself properly.
You did. I
Yeah.
agree because now what you've done is you allow all of the questions that you might have had, you're able to
Right.
dismiss them easily. All of
Right.
the problems that you have,
Right.
it's like a security blanket. All the problems that you
Right.
have, all the woes, all the real difficult things that really you need to have energy towards, you don't need to
Right.
do it anymore. God got it. This
Right.
this this imaginary thought that you learned in kindergarten is going to cover that. You just focus on, what you're doing,
Bro,
and
at
that's the
that age,
psychosis.
you have such an innocent curiosity at that age. Even in general, I think we do children or we do humans a disfavor letting children stay innocent when it comes to learning certain things pretty young. I think there are certain practical things that kids need to learn, kind of like the education they give them anyways, because there's school for every level now, right? But I think humans have the ability to learn a whole lot more younger than we're giving ourselves credit.
I'm gonna share something with the parents on the live right here. This is just food for thought. When your child is asking why or how come, I know that it could get like some people don't have the patience, but the more answers you give that child on why, the smarter they are going to be in their advancement. Their advancement is going to come because they're asking because they're hungry for knowledge. If your child is not asking why or how come, that they're going to be a slow learner. So feed that curiosity to them. I never. I mean, if they keep asking, I got a 12-year-old and I got a 3-year-old. And if they're asking the questions, I'm giving them the answers, no matter how frustrated and I'm working, I'm trying
Right,
to do something. Hey, but I'm gonna give them the answer because I want that curiosity to always be there and for them to learn. Now I might say to my 12-year-old, now, you could research this shit yourself, right? But
right.
I want them to get the answer. But you're right, bro. And having that concept of God and how did we create? I don't know exactly how it started. I don't know what
Bro,
happened
it
before the
is
Big
it
Bang,
is
but you know what?
entertaining to ponder though. Like
Yes.
Bro, think about how. Okay, bro, you and I need to do a live, bro, where everybody knows we don't believe, right? But like we should like explore the highest imagination of the highest, most capable type of being that we can imagine, bro. Because we anyone can do that. It's a very fun exercise. I feel like imagining a supreme being that says, "Let there be light," and then you try to make that being as real as possible in your head by just giving it more and more qualities that you think will make it real. It's a fun game, but
Let's do it,
hey,
bro. Let's
don't
do it.
don't play to the point where you start thinking that that shit that you
No, but here's what I'm gonna say. Here, no, but here's what we're gonna do, right?
right.
Because here's what we're gonna do. At the end of it all, at the end of the game is gonna end, but he died. Because there's nothing wrong with imagining a God and this and that. What I don't understand is why this God never dies. Just if you really need to know or really have to have a God in your life, a sky daddy, whatever it is that existed, or this is why it created, and you because you don't want to, use the effort to figure it out yourself. That's fine, have it, but just know he's
Bro,
dead. Because
let
if
me
you
tell
keep him alive, you're gonna believe he's doing shit that he ain't doing no more.
it goes back to what you said earlier, bro. It goes back to what you said earlier. The God that they've imagined, there are many qualities that they ascribe to those God to that God where you can look at the word and be like, okay, that's going on, but there's no intentionality behind it. You know, they apply the intentionality, and with applying intentionality, you need the intentional source to be intelligent, and then you need it to be a person, and then obviously, very conveniently, Abrahamically, you need it to be a man. I don't know why it wasn't a woman or a supreme goddess. Or you can make it a cow like the people in India.
Yeah. But then
You,
you can't. But then you can't eat that meat. That's the
bro,
down.
there's this joke when the white man first came and encountered certain tribes. And those tribes had never seen a gun before or even heard a gun go off with gunpowder. And the white man shot his gun into the air. Even the greatest warriors were frightened. Why, you may ask? Well, because the white man was carrying the power of thunder. They believed it
Oh,
and it put that fear in them and they acted on it.
yep,
You see,
yep.
you can perceive something wrong, but it can create a very real reaction inside of you.
A real effect.
That
And
is
I
what's
want
happening in the religious world.
and this is what it was. I mean, the YT was the first one to be able to really harness that fire in a way that it could be terrifying. Let's hope that the next generation, bro, let's hope that the next generation creates and harnesses that energy in a certain way where we're the ones shooting it, where we have the technological advancement. Stop the all these churches and all this nonsense
I'm
in
afraid,
Africa because they're not going to ever give you the answer on how to harness this energy to put the fear of whatever God they believe in into them to allow
Pharaoh.
our resources to be saved. You know that, bro.
You know that you and I are thinkers. We think at a high level, bro. You and I, that when you look at the world and the way it's going right now, the future is dystopian, right?
Yes.
The future beyond racial tension, beyond tribal tensions, it's dystopian. I think we're gonna end up with an equation that is rich is greater than poor. An inequality. It's not even gonna be an equation. It's gonna be an inequality. Rich is greater than poor, and that's going to chart the future of humanity out, I think, for the next at least 500 years up to 1,000 years,
And
because the old religions don't work anymore, bro. The system, what these religious people don't understand, especially Christians, Muslims also, Christians and Muslim, but I would say Jews, but I don't want to go there. They need to crash this system that they spend the last who knows how long building in order to rebuild it from the ashes of this one. They want to, and the next thing they rebuild needs to be able to last the next 1,000 years. Constantine laid the foundation. That generation, they laid the foundation for a system that carried Europe through thousands of years, hundreds of years. Now they're going to crash it. And they have to do it systematically. And the crash doesn't have to be instantaneous. What do I mean by crash? They need to transition the minds of the sheep from seeing an almighty God who is in heaven through the Abrahamic faiths to condition the minds of the sheep to see the state as the supreme power in the universe. I mean it literally. The state, what do I mean the state? The governing authority of whatever power is ruling the earth, whatever political system will be there. They need to take that power that they gave to God and bring it back to man. What man, you may say? The kings, the queens, and the rulers of the world. That's the true power of a monarchy. Because, I mean, go ahead if you want to say something.
No, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just imagining it. My imagination as well is aligned with yours. I mean, my thing is this though.
Bro,
No matter,
calculate. Don't even just imagine. Calculate.
yeah, yeah.
Just look at the. Bro, we both went to school. We've learned history, bro, and we're living through it as well. So, as well as we understand things that happened in the past, at the very least, we should be able to understand things that are happening right now, and then to a certain degree, with a certain margin of error, make predictions about where our world is headed. It's not really that complicated, you
Okay, so
know.
here's where my calculation leads me. Because
Okay.
based on the past, I can say that the denominator that I have seen in the past, no matter what is built or rebuilt, is always on the need for having the natural resources to do so. Now, the natural resources might change. It may be one time it's copper, one time it's silver, diamonds, gold, um, uranium, platinum. But just think of those natural elements that are there. Look at what is being used right now and needed for AI. Those are constantly shifting. The one advantage is that Africa, the continent, many countries in Africa hold those natural rich earth elements. So no matter what happens, they're going to be coming from them, which is ironic because we're probably one of the poorest continent, yet have the most natural resources that are need to build or rebuild anything. And the way that we keep giving it up is subscribing to people and ideas that don't have the best interest for us. And I don't know when we are going to get it.
Bro, don't even get me into our people, bro. I mean, it's not our people's fault. And China has made me optimistic about that future. And when I meant dystopian, bro, I think it will be true even in the black community. It will be true in every community much more than before. I think what we know as the middle class is going away. And it's going to go away so drastically that if you're not upper class, right, you are like a peasant. I think we're going back to the old monarchies. I think democracy has ran its course. Those that rule the world, they want to rebuild that old monarchical system, but with advanced technology, with AI.
Yep. Well, brother, I didn't mean to disrupt your live. I just wanted to come up and say hello to you,
No, no, no,
in
facts,
respect.
facts. I just chatted with you because
Yeah.
hey, bro, it's been a while. Hey, it's
But
been a while,
the
bro.
ops are getting the
Always.
ops are getting a little anxious in the box, so I want to give them a
Oh,
chance. I'm listening to y'all when you
I'm
come
seeing
up,
my
Lyndon.
time.
It better be something worthwhile hearing. But
Hey,
I'm gonna drop down and, and listen to you, brother. I support you. I appreciate you.
this is for your entertainment, or at very least, maybe you can learn something. As
Yes,
always,
sir.
right?
As always, yes, sir.
Take care,
Entertain,
brother.
bro. Yeah,
That's right. Somebody wants to debate you. Farrah.
I'll leave that. I'll leave that.
Hold
I'll
up.
leave that
Hold
to you.
up.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll take one. Go ahead.
Who's this Lyndon?
I
I'll give
don't
you
know.
guys let me see where this person's coming from. Then I'll see how long I give you. What's up, Lyndon? Damn, he turned on his
Hey,
camera. He's not playing.
hey, what's up, my brother? All things. All is well?
Yes, sir. What are you here for?
I'm looking at your prompt and I've been listening to your conversation.
Okay.
And it's good to hear the conversation between you two gentlemen. So, based on your prompt, and my question to you is, what is your proof that there is actually no God?
Oh, is that a serious question?
Of course, what is your proof that there is no God? Based on what is on your background, it says the interrogation, there is no God. So I'm asking, as someone who is in the religious community, what is your proof?
What exactly am I proving? Please help me out.
Your premise. You're proving your premise. Your premise that says there is no
But
God.
I didn't make any
What is your proof?
I didn't make any premise.
So the interrogation, there is no God, is not a premise.
No.
It's not a statement that says there is no God.
I think it is so self-explanatory. It
No, it's
requires
not.
no further explanation.
No, it's not.
Okay, if I say to you there is no water in this container and the container is right in front of you, what do you do?
You're holding a bottle in front of me and in
Right.
front of 172 persons right
Right.
here, right?
If I say
That's
there is
actually
no
saying
water,
that
yeah, if I
that
say there is no water,
okay.
what is the first thing you do?
I would ask you to prove that there is no water. And because I'm actually seeing your bottle right now, I could say to you, yes, there is some water in it right now.
Okay, good. So when I said there's no God, where am I talking about?
You're saying directly that there is no God. Yeah?
Where? But there's no God where? Because where is location, right? The word there means somewhere. So when I say there is no God, where do you assume I mean? I'm curious. Just go along with me, please.
And we can definitely go there into the avenue of semantics.
It's
And
not
if
semantics.
and no,
It's
no,
not.
no, no,
It's
it's fine. If you're saying directly for the purpose of semantics, there is no God, and you are referring to location, no problem. My question to you is, which location are you referring to? If there is
the
no
to-
God,
the totality of existence.
the totality of existence. Great. And now that we are actually getting to that point, what is your actual proof, your evidence-based proof to show that there is no God in regarding location, no
Have you?
existence of the deity that exists? What is your proof to justify that claim?
Have you looked around?
If you mean as to where I live and where you live,
Have you looked around the world? You look
sure
like
I
a
have
man who
looked
has been in this world
sure I
for a
have
long
looked
time.
around the world. Yeah, sure. Yes, my brother, I have looked around the world. Go ahead. Is that
And
your
have
proof?
you found a God anywhere?
If I have found a God anywhere,
Yeah, I'm
of course,
curious.
of course.
Where?
What do you mean? How do you
Where did you
how do you
find a
think
God?
how do you think your
Oh, bro, if you
creation
found a God somewhere, then
how
I'm wrong.
how
Where did you
how
find God, bro? Tell
how
me.
how do you think your creation came into being?
Let's not go there. I want you
No,
to
no, no,
tell
no,
me
no,
where.
no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no.
As long as you speak to the highest deity in the religious order, you are falling under the same avenue of premise that deals with the avenue of procreation. I just listened to you all on a live speaking about the idea of, and your buddy in the comment in the who muted his mic spoke to the order of what we consider apes. He put it in the comment section and it spoke to the idea of evolution. So
Brother.
I'm saying if you're going to the avenue of the evolution theory, which I have no problem in dealing
No,
with,
no, brother,
then
you're deflecting from a point. I need you to make this point before you go on. I'll let you say
no
what you want to
problem.
say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Where
Go
did
ahead.
you find God?
Where did I find God? In my
Yeah.
spiritual journey and walks, and in my personal observation of what
Where?
currently exists and what
Where in
currently
this
exists
world?
around
Yeah,
us.
that's what I mean. Like, where in this world did you find God?
And I just explained it to you. In my personal observation, understanding what currently exists around us,
Uh
that
huh.
includes time and space, would have
Uh huh.
allowed me to have a deeper understanding of even some things that I personally may not understand, some things I would totally believe, and on some things I would definitely allow to rely on the avenue of faith.
No,
So,
that's a lot
so,
of
so
talking.
if
No,
we,
no,
so
brother, that is a lot of talking for
hey, hey, hey,
someone
hey,
whose
hey,
only
hey,
job is to
hey,
tell me
hey,
where did you meet God, brother? Where
hey,
did you
hey,
meet
hey,
God? I'm not
hey,
talking
hey.
about the experience. I'm talking about tell me the day, time, and place where you met God. Because if you're talking about God as an idea, bro, you're just making that up. That's not my
Okay.
argument. right? We all have
Okay.
10,000 ideas of God in our head. Like I was telling the
All
brother,
right.
we could sit down here and play an imaginative game. That's not what
Right.
I'm talking about. When I
Right.
say there's no
What
God,
exactly
just like
what
the hold
exactly
up,
are you what exactly are you speaking about so that we could break it down on your level of understanding? Go ahead. Tell us.
that is, you will not find God anywhere beyond the imagination of human beings. God is a fictitious character that human beings made up. God is not a real thing in the real world. And no matter
All right.
what real thing in the real world someone points at, it wouldn't be God.
All
Right?
right.
God has described, God has understood throughout human time. It's a mythological character. In fact, we've relegated a lot of those gods as myths. For example,
Right.
Zeus, Osiris, Horus, the Scandinavian gods. The idea of God, bro, it's just that some of these religions are still very relevant and influential today. If not, they will all just be like Greek mythology. Because Greek
All
mythology
right.
once was famous and popular and believed, and
Okay.
it ran a system. We are just at some point in history with the advancements in technology and the increase in knowledge and social changes. We don't know which religion is going to be dominant 500 years from now. We don't know if it's going to be Islam or Christianity. It just depends on who has the most political power. I know
Okay.
you look like the type of guy that understands what's happening in the Middle East. It's not just money, it's also religious and political. It's in that sense that I'm saying there's no God. As far as what I'm saying that in the real world there is no God.
Okay.
But in human entertainment and culture, God is a character that we invented. Now, if you have any
Okay.
evidence that there is an entity that exists for real, that is God in the real world, point me to where you met this entity.
Okay. Can I go now?
Point me to
Can I
where
can
you
I
met this
can I
entity.
can I
Yes,
can
sir.
I can I literally respond to you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So based on the nature and the subject of the discussion, for me to literally come and say to you, hey, you know what? I met God in the United States, or I met God in the Caribbean, or I met God in Africa via location. We talked, we had a conversation. He looks like this or he looks like that. Yeah? That will not be what you call, according to evidence base in today's world, something that will allow everybody to literally believe. We
That's
are
not what I'm
talking
talking
about
about, though.
just now. I allowed you to give your explanation. So now I'm actually going to give you an explanation back to
No,
based
no,
on
no,
what
no,
you
no. Lyndon,
stated.
Lyndon, Lyndon, I think you misunderstood something.
Are you going to cut me?
Yes, the interrogation. I am interrogating you as in, bro, let me ask you questions, give me answers. Right? The reason why I gave you an explanation is because you didn't seem to understand the context in which I was asking you the question. Give me direct answer. I need the conversation to flow, okay? Where did you meet God? And if you haven't met a person called God, so why are you arguing with me when I said there's no God? In order for something to be there, you need to have proof that it is there. If it's not there, someone can just say it's not there. And if you have a problem, all you have to do is prove that it's there. The burden of proof is not even on me. It's on you. In fact, I didn't want to ridicule you by telling you, how can you ask me to prove that something is not there? You don't go about trying to prove that something is not there. When something is not there, it doesn't require that much need for proof. It just needs observation, especially something that has never been proven to be there. It's, for example, I say, hey, prove to me that you're not a woman. Bro, go ahead and prove to me right now that you're not a woman. So if I make a statement and say, hey, the brother Lyndon is not a woman, someone can come and tell me, well, where's your proof that he's not a woman? That's exactly what you're trying to do to me when it comes to the subject of God.
All
Right?
right,
It
good.
is obvious that you are a man. It's obvious that there's no God. None of us have ever interacted with an entity called God,
Uh huh.
except when we're in our altered states of mind and we all tolerate it. Some do it the Islamic way, some do it the Christian way, some do it the Juju way. We do it for our entertainment. But when shit hits the fan, we know that them gods ain't finna come save us.
Okay. But let me ask you a question. Let me see if we debate on the same level. So there is no God according to you, and I'm going to your point. Okay, I'm literally going to your point. So can I just say on a natural level, it's okay to it's okay to take somebody's life on a natural level. It's okay to take someone's life.
It's not a matter of okay or not okay. It
No,
is
no,
what
no,
it
no, no, no,
is.
no, 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 no. I'm asking you a question. Is it okay to take someone's life naturally?
It is not a matter of okay. It
No,
is a matter
it's not a
of
matter of okay. What?
it's not a matter of okay or not okay. It is what
Okay.
it is.
What is it? What is it a matter of?
It's a matter of simply observing that that's the world as it is. Whether it is okay or not really doesn't make a difference, especially if it doesn't change the outcome. We can sit down here and say it's okay, it's not okay. Then
So,
tomorrow,
so, 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 so
tomorrow.
you're saying, so you're saying to me right now, you're saying to me right now, where we are speaking on the avenue of, sorry, let me just ask for a real question. What part of the globe do you reside?
Somewhere.
Right. Okay. Somewhere. It's okay on your part of the world to just literally take a life.
Lyndon, hold on 1 second. I don't
Didn't
know
No,
I
if
no,
you
no,
just
no,
know,
no,
say,
no, 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 Pharaoh,
brother,
Pharaoh,
brother,
hold up. Pharaoh,
brother.
brother?
Hold on.
Pharaoh,
Hold
Pharaoh,
on.
bro, Pharaoh.
Okay,
The conversation right now is between myself and Banga respectfully. And I've literally asked him a question, allow the brothers to finish,
Linda,
and then you could interact.
Lyndon, what part of it's not a matter of okay or not okay? Why are you
What
asking me if it's okay? I
is
just
it okay and in the part of the world that you live in, is it morally okay to take a life? My answer to you is
no,
yes or
no,
no.
no. Now
It's
you're
not.
changing
Why
to
why 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 why, is, why
hold
isn't it not
up.
morally okay?
Hold up. Because bro, I don't think you understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. You said naturally the first time.
Of course I do.
Hold up. You said naturally the first time. So when you ask me naturally, if you take a life naturally, is it okay or not okay? I said, well, naturally, it's not a matter of okay or not okay, because naturally, it's just naturally, it's gonna happen. It is what it is. So it doesn't matter where I'm at, as long as it's naturally. Now you're changing it to morally. Are you confused? Which one are you talking about? Is it okay morally or is it okay
Okay.
naturally?
All right. So naturally it's okay to take a life.
Naturally, it's not a matter of okay or not okay. Morally, obviously, we're gonna say it's not okay.
Okay, all right. Why is it naturally not okay to take a life?
he just
No,
switched
no,
the
no,
word.
no. You are going there, and I'm
Lyndon,
asking you the question.
can I
Why
be
is it
rude for a second,
naturally not okay to take a life?
Bro,
If you're
bro.
bro?
saying, you're saying it's spiritually, it's
Lyndon,
not okay.
can I interrupt just for a
Naturally, why
second?
is it not okay to take a life?
Can I be rude just for a second, Lyndon, and just say that
Sure.
you're bringing up things. I mean, it was on a good conversation on a good course, and you seem to be going in a complete different direction. Uh,
No,
the
because
whether
you completely
so
in the
since you're
same
so
alignment with the brother,
okay,
and
but
there's
this
clearly no debate happening between you two. So there will be no reason for you to disagree if you all are on the same presence and have the same belief.
it,
I am not of the same belief as yourself and the other brother, so then there's no reason to debate.
okay, Lyndon. It has nothing to do with whether I disagree or agree. I'm just trying to keep it on track. Now, the questions that you're asking related to is it okay to take a life? The reason why it's irrelevant is because if I want to take your life, God is not going to do anything about it.
It's not gonna be
God
a
is
matter of
it's not going to be a matter of
okay or not
oh
okay.
not okay because if I
Yeah.
Lyndon listen to me, Lyndon, you said a lot. If I want to take your life, if you're in front of me and I want to take your life,
All right.
I can do it or not do it, and your God is not going to do anything about it. So that does not going to prove if God exists or not. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Good.
Thank you
Right.
for bringing us back,
Good.
bro. Even
Lovely.
though it was a nice
Can I
stretch.
literally respond? No, the fact that you have said it's okay or it's not okay is boils back down to the same question, which goes to morals. Is it right or is it wrong to take a life? Basically, that's what I'm asking. In case you missed
For
the
me,
premise of
it's right.
the question remains: is it right or wrong to take a life?
It's right.
And the reason why I asked about whether or not it was okay or it was not okay is because there can be a justifiable reason that a life can be taken to the premise of self-defense. But
Lyndon,
That is why
is it
Lyndon,
literally
Lyndon,
naturally and
Bakanga,
Lyndon,
you know what he's doing,
guys,
right?
guys, guys, guys,
Lyndon.
guys, guys.
No, 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 hold, no, no,
Let's
hold
be
up,
fair.
no, 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 no. You, Lyndon, no, stop, 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 Lyndon, Lyndon. That's why I said to you earlier, Lyndon. I don't think you understand the things you're saying with that much depth. If I said to you that it's not a matter of okay or not okay, that means that it depends on every specific situation. So one person might think it's okay and one person might think it's not. So guess what? In the grand scheme of things, you cannot really talk about it as if it's a matter of okay or not okay.
Let
So
me say
that's
this
what
to
you
you.
say.
Let me say this to
If
you.
if no no
What you're
hold
saying is,
up, hold up.
right. Why?
If justifiably you can justify taking a life, well, somebody can justifiably come against you for taking that life. Is it the same every time? No. There's no two stories. No. Right? So when you said naturally, in the natural world, biologically, there's no morality there. So there's no okay or not okay. The lion doesn't apologize to the gazelle for eating it. In the human social world, according to our social morality, it depends on where you are in the world. And it depends on who you're dealing with. If it's okay to take a life or not. It just depends.
I'm in
Let me share something
Chicago.
to you.
I'm in
You're
Chicago,
fooling
Linden.
yourself. And let me
Linden.
tell you why you're fooling yourself. If it was literally okay to take a life anywhere around the world, you would not have had a social system that is literally giving reports on murders every day around the world. If it was literally okay to directly say it's okay to be violent and commit violence against women, commit violence against children, you would not have a social system
Bro, are you not supposed to be
that is
proving that God
literally
exists, bro? Are you not
Hey,
supposed to
friend,
be proving
friend,
that God exists?
friend. You know why I asked you? You know why I asked you? You know why I asked you the question?
No,
The main
bro.
reason I asked you the question
Nobody
as
is
to whether
saying
or
what you're
not,
claiming, though. But nobody is
friend,
saying
friend,
what you're claiming.
my friend. If you allow me to directly give you a response so that we could have an understanding. You said it's not a matter of justifying if it is natural or if it is or if we
Lyndon,
are dealing with
Lyndon,
the avenue of
Lyndon,
moral.
Lyndon, Lyndon. How does that connect to God's existence? You tell me. Go straight to the
Good.
point.
Let me explain to you.
No,
The
no,
highest
no. I
be
don't want
I am
explanation. Direct
explaining
answer.
and
That no, no.
I'm explaining to you now.
Lyndon,
I am
Lyndon,
explaining to you now.
Lyndon,
All
Lyndon.
right.
I'm not asking for an explanation. I'm asking for a direct answer. How does that relate to God? Just
So
tell me what it. Just tell me what it is directly.
so the direct answer is coming with the information. Would you like me to share?
So give me the direct answer, not an explanation. There's no
Okay,
direct
great.
answer
Right.
to.
Good. The author of the world who created creation, you were created with what is called a moral compass. Based on that moral compass, you can make decisions on whether what is right or whether what is wrong. Do you agree or do you not agree?
I do not agree.
You don't agree. So you were not born with a moral compass.
No,
You were not born with a moral compass. You
no,
have no
bro.
moral compass at all.
I have a moral compass, but I wasn't born with it. Use your brain. Was I born? Was I born speaking English? Was I born with a language? No, no. Tell me. Was I born with a language? No, 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 no. Lyndon, Lyndon. So which one comes first? Which one comes first? Do I have to develop a language before I develop a moral compass, or do I develop a moral compass before I develop a language? Which one do you think it is? Some
You
form of
were born.
language.
Would you like me to clarify the question, the statement? You were born with the ability to have a moral compass.
I
A
was
brain
also
that
born with the
allows you,
ability
a
to
brain
jump
that
out of an
allows
airplane.
you, a brain that allows you, a brain that allows you to think on what is right or wrong is what allows you to have a moral compass. If you go today to go and take a life wherever you live, right? You know the issue is unless it's self-defense, you will never stay there. You know why? Because the moment that life is taken and a local government is looking for you, your super ego is going to literally kick in. And it's either
What does
two
that have
things
to
are
do
going
with
to
God
happen.
existing? What does that have to do with God existing?
Friend. And this is why I'm directly taking the time to explain it to you.
I don't have that time. I don't want
No.
explanations. You're not the only guest. There is no
Then
but. No,
it's
no,
best
no,
for us
no,
to end
no, no.
conversation
Lyndon,
respectfully.
Lyndon, Lyndon.
No, it's best for us to end conversation
Lyndon,
respectfully
Lyndon,
because
Lyndon,
you're interested in hearing
Lyndon,
yourself rather
Lyndon.
than hearing the
Let me show you
explanation,
something.
and
Lyndon,
I
let me show
just
you
won't do that
something.
with you.
No, no, no. The problem with you is that you have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. So you think if you just keep talking, then somehow you're gonna answer the questions.
All
Hold on,
right.
let me help you out. Let me show you. You
All
claim
right.
that there is a God. I said there is no God. You asked me for proof. So I was
All
kind of
right.
like playing with you because obviously the burden of proof is on you. Bro, do you have any proof that there is a God? Point us where the proof is. I didn't ask you to give me the whole Bible or quote me your whole religion. I don't need an
The proof
explanation.
is
There's
right.
no
The
need for
proof is
explanation.
right in creation.
Where
The
is God?
proof is right in the avenue
No,
of creation.
there is no proof in creation that says there is a God.
Really? Really?
No.
Bakanga. Can I
So so
respond?
so
Go ahead,
the
Pharaoh.
laws
Go
of
ahead.
physics made up itself. The laws of biology just made up itself.
We are
The
the
laws
ones
that
that.
the laws that govern the avenue of the natural super order just literally created itself. Tomorrow, Banker could just get up tomorrow, and you can just naturally
If it did not
levitate
create
into space.
itself, who told you it
It
was
just
God that created
naturally
it?
levitated into space. That's what you're
If
saying.
so, hold up.
Yeah.
So hold up. If the laws of nature did not create themselves, you're saying that it's impossible for the laws of nature to have created themselves? Are you
Oh
saying it's
God.
impossible for the laws of nature to have existed eternally?
Let me
We
give
are
a
saying
response. Let
we
me give
are
a response
literally
to Lyndon and
we
see
are
if he
literally
can.
saying to you
No,
that
Lyndon,
before there
yes or
can be
no?
the
One
order
second,
of
Pharaoh.
creation,
Lyndon,
there
Lyndon,
must be a
Lyndon,
creator. That's what we're saying.
Lyndon,
What?
Lyndon.
What? What? What?
The laws of nature and physics and biology that you were talking about, you
Uh
think
huh.
they could you think that they could not create themselves?
No, they couldn't just create themselves.
Okay,
No,
you don't think that they could have existed eternally with no
no,
creator?
they couldn't exist without themselves, without an creator. That's what we're saying.
Okay, so let me
Okay,
ask
can I
you.
respond to that,
No, no,
Bakanga?
no,
Let
no,
me.
no, no.
Yeah,
One
okay.
second, Pharaoh. Just
Let me know
this is
when.
it. Lyndon, listen very carefully, okay?
Uh huh.
This next question is gonna make you
Be
bite your
careful where you're
tongue.
going now. Eh? Be careful where you're going.
Lyndon, Lyndon,
You're going into the deeper
Lyndon,
supernova. Eh? All right, go
Lyndon.
ahead.
Listen carefully. This
Yeah.
next question is gonna make you bite your tongue because you're not gonna be able to
What?
answer it,
What's the
and
question?
I guarantee your answer will be bullshit. So just be conscious,
What's the
okay?
question?
Who created your God? Where did he come from?
Who created my God? Where did he come from? I can't answer you to that question.
Yeah, because you're full of shit. So you,
I'm
so
full of shit. I'm full of
okay,
shit because
yeah, you're
I'm
full of.
answering your
No, 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 no,
question.
no, 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 no.
Let me see if I can get let
Wait,
me see
wait.
if I can
Let me
get your
just.
logic. No. Don't ego trip, bro. Don't ego trip. We all here. All right? Good. So what you're saying is that everything that was created by man, or let me do that. Everything that you are seeing happening right now in the world, the plane, the boat, your house, everything that we have that man physically has dominion over
Bro, you
was
talk a
just there.
lot.
There was no creation. There was nobody that created it. Nobody
Bakanga, give me
created
a
this
minute.
pen.
This is
Nobody
the
created
Take,
the
perfect
phone
time.
that you use.
take a minute,
Nobody created
Pharaoh.
your mic.
Okay, let Lyndon finish.
Nobody created your what you call
Lyndon,
the clothes that you wear. Nobody created
Lyndon,
anything. It was just
Lyndon.
always there.
You don't have to repeat yourself 10,000 times as if you don't believe the words come out of your mouth. If you said nobody, you already asked me the question. Why do you have to repeat it 20 times? Are you in doubt?
No.
Relax.
I did
Relax.
not repeat it 20
Relax.
times. I made a
Relax.
statement when I
Lyndon.
asked you a
Lyndon.
question.
Relax.
Nobody created this pen.
Pharaoh. Lyndon.
Lyndon, you've had a lot of time. Bakanga's giving you a lot of time on the
Go
live,
ahead, Pharaoh.
which
Go
is
ahead,
fine.
Pharaoh.
Here's the thing,
Let him
No,
Lyndon.
it's
finish.
Okay.
okay. It's
All
okay.
right. Premises number one: God is the creator. Okay, because you wanted premises, so I want to follow your rules. Premises number two: creation does not exist. Premises number three: God does not exist because creation doesn't exist. Now, let me tell you why creation doesn't exist. Creation doesn't exist because nothing can ever be created or destroyed. Look at water, which is H2O. It is a formula that is hydrogen and oxygen combined, but it's not created. It comes from prior natural materials that make water. Now, you can take that water, you can freeze it, you can leave it out at 90-degree temperature and it's going to evaporate. It's going to turn into vapor. It's going to go up into the sky. It's going to come back down, but you're never going to destroy it and you're never going to create it. If you can create one single drop of water without using any elements, then we can believe your creation story. But nothing in this world, in this universe, has ever been created. So therefore, there cannot be a creator.
Really? So you're actually saying to me right now, the sun that what we call warms this nine planet solar system, it wasn't created. It was
It
always there.
emerged naturally. Yes, sir. It wasn't a work of creation. Things can
Good,
emerge in
lovely.
other ways other than being
Could you
created.
prove that? Could
Listen,
you prove that?
Yeah, because we can observe the way these things are aging and we can trace their origin to natural causes and we don't see any extraordinary causes involved. Okay. In fact, let me give an example. Let me give an example. Okay, Lyndon, let me show you how disconnected from reality you are. Let me ask you a question. Okay, Lyndon, who created you?
Who created me?
Yeah.
My mom and dad procreated.
No, no, I didn't ask you who procreated. I said who created you.
I just said my mom and dad procreated, and I was born.
Oh, so the answer of who created you is your mom and dad.
Correct.
So your mom and dad is your creator.
No, my mom and my dad are my parents.
No, but your mom and your dad created you.
My mom and dad did
That
what
is
is
why
called
you need to answer direct question. I
my
ask you
mom
yes or
and
no.
dad
I
my
ask you a
mom
yes or a
and
no
dad.
question,
Hey,
right?
hey, 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 hey,
No, no, no,
hey.
no. Lyndon, Lyndon, Lyndon,
You never said
Lyndon,
it was a yes or no
Lyndon,
question. So if you
Lyndon.
allow me the time to
No, no,
answer,
no,
I'm
no,
going to
no, no,
answer.
no, 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 no,
Okay, well,
no.
I'll remain silent.
Lyndon, Lyndon. Who created you? Just
My
tell me
mom
the
and
name
dad.
of the person. Okay. Your mom and dad created you. That will make your mom and
Yeah.
dad your creator, right?
All right. Why? Let me hear it. Wait.
No, no, no. I'm just trying to reason with you to see if we're on the
No,
same
you're not
page.
trying to reason with me. You're trying to be smart in your line of your questioning, and I know the play that
Well,
you're playing.
well,
So
well.
let's go ahead and play the game. My mom and dad are my parents who did the act to create me. Go ahead. Let me hear what you're trying to justify. Go ahead.
Is your mom and dad your creator?
My mom and dad are my parents.
Who's your creator?
My creator is God.
When did God create you?
God created the universe.
No, when did He create you?
When He created me when He put the first woman and the first man on this planet and said, you know what, be fruitful and multiply.
That's when He created you?
That's when He created creation as it relates to what you call
No, I
human
mean
beings.
you. When did God create you? You specifically.
It's hard to realize you don't even understand the logic.
He don't
I
even know
When
just
his
said
own
to
did
birthday.
you,
I am the one
I just
asking
said to
you the
you,
question? You're trying to
I just
gaslight
said
me.
to you,
When
no,
did
no,
God
no, no.
create you, brother?
You just asked a question, and I said He created me when He created the first man and first woman, which sparked the whole human race
Brother,
that we live in.
brother, brother,
My
brother,
parents,
stop
who
talking. Stop talking.
literally, my
Stop.
parents.
Lyndon, Lyndon.
You don't want me to
If
speak? All right, no problem.
yes, I
I'll be
don't
mine.
want you to speak. I don't need for you to be disruptive. Stop pretending as if you don't have common sense. You think that every question I ask you is a trap question. That's why you keep behaving the way you're behaving. My questions are genuine. You don't need to over answer a question by giving me extra information that you can now use to deflect from my major point. You know that every question I'm asking you, I'm asking it because I'm putting you in a precise angle, an angle you can only escape by knowing the exact true answer or by rambling your way out of it. So stop pretending as if you don't understand the basics. Okay? If your mom and your dad are your creators, then God cannot be your creator. If God is your
Okay,
creator, then your
no
mom and your
problem.
dad did not
So
create you.
not that we hear you, not that we hear you. Where did human beings came from? Tell us. Tell us where did human beings
Lyndon,
come from?
Lyndon, why
No,
the
no, no, no,
fuck?
no. No,
Lyndon,
no.
Lyndon,
I'm
no,
answering you a
Lyndon, Lyndon,
direct
no,
question
no,
honestly.
Lyndon, you're
Where did
doing it
human
again.
beings
You're
come
doing
from?
it again. I literally gave you that whole speech because I was making a point. Now your brain
Friend,
has forgotten what I was doing
friend,
and you're
friend.
going on to something else.
My question to you is
I
who
am still
created
asking you a
human beings?
question. I'm still asking you questions.
Bakanga.
So
Answer those questions.
it's not a dialogue.
It's a fucking interrogation. Are you blind? You read it. You kept saying it's an interrogation. I'm supposed to ask you questions. You're supposed to give me direct answers, not
Uh-huh.
explanation. But you don't seem
Uh,
to be able to follow the format. So it's
all right.
causing the conversation not to flow. If you're
Mm,
look, bro, there's some people who can answer their ideas with direct answers because their ideas are not really their ideas and they haven't thought of it and they don't have mastery over their ideas. People who are
mm.
masters of their own ideas, They don't
Mm.
need too much when they're trying to explain or answer a direct question. So you
Uh,
can choose to explain, and you could also choose to just give me a short,
mm.
direct answer. You're
Right.
purposefully choosing that long answer either because you don't know the short version or
Mm.
you only know how to ramble. So which
Okay,
one is it?
so then if I don't know how to give the short answers and you clearly have the answer, then there should be no problem to answer the question I'm asking. Who created mankind? Where did the first human being come from? Just tell us. Seeing
Mankind
that you
wasn't
know,
created.
tell us.
Lyndon, are we going to pretend that you didn't go to school and study biology and you don't
Tell
know
us. No, no,
you
no, no,
don't
no,
know
no.
evolution?
This is not about whether I went to school, whether I'm not talking about
Lyndon,
education. You are
Lyndon,
here and I asked you a direct question. Where did the first human being come from? Tell us.
where?
Yeah, where did it come from?
From here.
Come from where?
Here.
It came from here. Okay. It just existed.
It came from here. Where did it come from? You tell me
It just
where.
existed. It just
No,
existed.
no, 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 no. Just tell me where else? Where else? If it wasn't here, where was it? Where did the first human being come from?
It
If
just
not here.
existed. It just existed.
No, I didn't say that. I said it came from here. I didn't say it just existed. You see how your brain works? It's like you
Oh.
don't. It's like you just make up stuff in your head, bro.
So I
I
said,
said
so
it
I
comes from
said, give
here.
us an
I didn't say
expert.
it just
So I
existed.
said, give us. The question was, where did the first human being come from? Everybody's
And
waiting to hear your answer.
and
Where
I
did it
said
come
where.
from?
Here is a
Where?
where. Here is somewhere. This is somewhere. So here.
Okay, great. How was the first human being created?
How?
Tell us. Yeah, how?
The first human being wasn't created.
They were not created. All right,
Yeah,
interesting.
because human beings don't have their origins as humanoids. We originate as single organism cells. So we've been able to simplify our biology and our physicality down to sperm and egg. So we don't yet know the depths. At the point in our studies, abiogenesis is the best theory that we have. But we're at the point where we understand how the cell works enough to be able to, do a few genetical modifications here and there, kind of stuff. But we don't yet know the details of exactly how the cell emerged naturally. But we do know that it emerged by the works of proteins and certain amino acids, and it was in an Earth system that was prehistoric, very different from right now. That we know. That's what we know from our studies. We don't have any evidence that it was being manufactured by someone or something. All the evidence shows that it's a continuous natural process,
Can I make
and
a
we
comment here,
continue to study
Bakanga?
down that line. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. From what I'm listening to Lyndon and his questions, and I hope that they're genuine because believe it or not, I really believe that there's still hope for Lyndon because he's just searching for knowledge, bro. Hopefully, you know that the what we were talking about earlier with the kids asking the why, and if they
Right,
get the
right.
answers, it's our responsibility, and we have to have patience with
True.
folks like this. We just
That's
have to
why I'm
have the
still
patience.
talking to him. Yep.
Yes, yes, and I appreciate it. So,
Yes,
Lyndon,
sir.
if you truly are asking about that, I want you to, you almost have to erase some of the things that you believe in to get to the right answers. The first thing is that creation thing. We don't see any species, whether it's a human species or any species across the board, um, having a first. Things go out of existence and come into existence in groups. They evolve from prior things. Remember, I gave you the example related to the water. It's a combination, and you can laugh, but it's a combination of things that are already present. And when there's a spawn of things being born, they are born in thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions at the same time. So there's no concept of one atom coming onto the earth. But if you want to look at the Homo erectus and you want to go back and trace the evolution of it, you said you that you believe in that. You understand that it's a theory. Then you can
I
do
never
that and
said
get
I
your
believe in evolution.
okay. Well, you don't have to believe in it. It's a theory, so it's based on empirical facts and study and
Yeah, it's not a
observation.
belief.
So, this is the thing that if you want to try to trade in some of the beliefs that you have for things that we know as humanity, then that's going to help with some of the questions that you have. But what is a disservice, Lyndon, is if you truly don't know that you try to replace it with a creation story that there's absolutely no evidence for, brother. And I'm saying that with all due respect.
Hey,
So
Lyndon.
let me just take the time to respond to what you're literally saying. And if what you're saying is correct, then it should be very easy for a sperm and an egg to what you call be developed outside of a womb and go for a series of 9 months. Is there any part of history that has proven that this is possible according to your evolution theory?
That has
Yes,
proven that what is possible.
I understand his question.
Yeah, yeah, but I want him to reiterate it. That what's possible.
An egg requires a sperm in order
A
for
spoon.
that transfusion process to take place in order for the development of a human being. If you are saying that the evolution theory is the theory that you all are going by, and it gives the world a guide that is proven that there has always been the idea of humans here, then I'm asking, is there any point of history that shows the sperm and the egg being able to just naturally develop into a full human being without the womb?
Without the womb, brother, Lyndon,
Yes, without the womb,
here's what I'll
without
say.
the womb.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about mammals in general. Humans have not been on this earth forever. For example, we were not here prior to the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were here first. But there are mammals that, because of the evolution process, because it was advantageous for them to be able to leave the egg or to have the egg outside rather than carrying it around, ostriches and other mammals do that. Now, I don't know what you're creating. You're trying to create to say that somehow a sperm
No,
and
hold
an
on,
egg
Pharaoh.
can live
Pharaoh.
outside a womb, but they can. We have, uh, yeah,
We're dealing here. We're dealing here with human beings.
yeah,
We're
No,
human
no,
not
no,
beings are
no, no,
born
dealing.
no, no, no.
today.
We're
Lyndon,
not
Lyndon.
dealing with the
Hold
mammals,
up,
and
hold
we're
up,
not
Lyndon.
dealing with animals.
Yeah, hold up, Lyndon, Lyndon. So let's say that evolution cannot explain how a human being can go from a cell to from how a cell can go from a sperm to a fully grown human outside of the womb, right? Let's just say you're correct. How do you think it happened?
I just went back and I said creation.
By
Creation,
who?
that means there must be a creator that have brought the first man and woman here
Okay, yeah,
in
yeah,
order
yeah.
to start a process.
Okay,
There is
good.
no the
Yeah, yeah. Hold
purpose
up,
of
hold up,
us.
hold up, hold up, hold up, bro. Don't give me too much information. This creator, brother. Let's think. Let's talk about
You
this
gotta learn,
creator.
friend. You have a lot of learning to do. That's why I'm taking the time to explain it to you,
No,
because
no, you're
you have a lot
talking
of
too
learning
much.
to
You're
do.
giving. You need to learn to listen to questions and answer me, bro. Anyways, this creators. Let's talk about this creator. So this creator, is it like one creator or is it like two creators? Now, this creators, is it also like a male and female, like teamwork type activity that's going on here? Does this creator have a father and a mother too? Could it be another civilization? Or perhaps maybe a different type of human from somewhere else that came here and made the replica? Which one of these is it? Which
God,
creator is it?
God has always been God, my friend. And the fact remains that if God had to be recreated, or God had to be created out of his deity, he could not have possibly been God. And that's an answer you will not want to hear, because you do not believe that there is a God,
Lyndon,
etc. That's fine.
Lyndon,
I'm here to
I don't
argue.
think you
I'm not
understood the
here to.
question. I don't think you understood the question. And if
Of
you're not
course
gonna answer my
of course
question,
I
I'm gonna go
understood
on
it, and
to
I just no. Don't tell me what I don't understand and what I don't understand. I
okay,
just
what was
understood
my
your
question?
question,
What was the
and
question?
I answered to
What
the
was the
what we
question?
call I
What was the
answered
question?
beyond the idea of your
Lyndon,
limited time and
Lyndon,
space that you
Lyndon,
do not understand. And
Lyndon,
I'm
Lyndon,
saying to you again, God
Lyndon, what
has
was the
always been
question?
there. That's what I'm
What was
saying.
the question? What was the question? What was the question you were answering? Tell me.
You want to move on?
No, no, no. What was the question you were answering, Lyndon? If I'm being
You asked about whether or not God has how did God come about, or how literally the idea of God probably had a mother and a father and were they created from another race. I took the time to explain to you, and I said
man,
God has
Lyndon, I
always
hate to
been
be rude.
there.
I hate to be rude, but that's
It's
embarrassing.
no problem. I don't have to be
You
rude.
have no
We can
integrity.
disagree, but
You
if you
have
have to be rude,
you
it
have no
means you're
integrity.
disingenuous.
You
If
have
you
no
have to be rude, it
you
means you
have
have to
no
be
integrity.
disingenuous. I'm not
You
here
have
to be
no
disingenuous.
integrity. Okay, you have no
I don't have to be
integrity.
rude.
You have no integrity. Why are you pretending like you know
I
the
have no
question?
integrity.
That was not my question.
That was not your question. I'm sorry, Banker. Do you care to ask your question again? And then I'm going to answer according to the question that you have asked. No problem. Go ahead.
If you admit that you lied when you said you knew what the question was, and you need to calm down and behave yourself, bro. I can't ask you a question and then you go on answering on a different subject. It doesn't satisfy the point of the question. What was the point of me asking you the question if you're just going to answer something else? Stop trying to be over smart. Give me extra knowledge that I didn't ask you. You don't even
So you
answer
didn't
my
ask
question.
you didn't ask about the origin of where the God came from. You didn't ask
No, no,
that.
no. This is
You
what I'm
didn't
asking you.
are you saying
Listen,
here right now on this panel you did
Lyndon,
not ask about whether or not
Lyndon,
that God came from another race,
Lyndon,
or whether or
Lyndon,
not he has a mother and father? You didn't ask that question a moment ago.
Lyndon.
No,
Listen
no, no, no,
very
no.
carefully.
Answer my question. You didn't ask that question a moment ago.
No, no, I did not.
Pharaoh, did he? What was the question you just asked?
Stop bring, bro. You're trying to create drama. Let me tell you what I asked you.
I'm not creating drama,
I
my
am
friend.
going. Let me repeat what I
And
asked
I
you,
will
and you're
not.
gonna learn.
My aim here is to not be disingenuous to you, and
Linda,
I
it's
don't believe
okay.
in the idea of spreading lies. A moment
Linda,
ago, you just asked about whether or not
Lyndon,
God existed
stop
from another
talking,
human race.
bro. I'm gonna mute you, bro. I'm gonna start muting you. I didn't want to do that to you, but you just keep talking,
No, but
bro.
kind of don't mute him. Give me mod power so I could mute him.
No, no. Hold up.
No, no, it doesn't matter. We're having a conversation.
Lyndon, check this out. Okay, calm down. I'm the host of the show. Okay, when I tell you to stop talking, just stop talking. I need to do both. I need to talk with you. It's
Go ahead.
look. It's gone into a conversation. This is supposed to be an interrogation. I've been patient with you. That's just because you look like one of my uncles. That's the only reason. If you didn't look like one of my uncles, bro, I would have already been.
What?
Anyways, Uncle Lyndon. This was my
Why?
question. I
Let me
said
hear.
creator. I said
Uh,
creator.
uh,
I said creator. I didn't say God. You see,
uh,
God is one of the suspected creators. But I was
uh.
trying to have you understand the idea that, okay, let's say you conclude that human beings were created. Don't you find it within your intelligence to also consider the possibility that even if human beings were created, it doesn't necessarily have to have been by a God?
Okay, so who would create them then?
Perhaps there is another civilization that exists out there with advanced technology to the point that they can create biological beings. Now, listen, Lyndon, wait. This is something that we are soon going to find out, right? We know what human beings are made of in terms of organic matter. And human beings will soon master the ability to create living things. You understand that, right?
I'm listening to you, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna have the abilities at some point in the future if science continues down this path and if they meet their goal. Their goal is to achieve the ability to artificially create life or to artificially manufacture life. That's the whole point. And if human beings can prove that it is possible that life could artificially be made, then guess what? Before you can even ever assume that a God created human beings, you have to consider the fact that human beings themselves could be an artificial product of an intelligence that is quite capable, but not necessarily absolute and almighty. So, not necessarily a God. That's why when we talk about things like aliens, right?
All right.
We got to consider aliens before you ever consider God.
All right.
You,
So
and
you
I'm just I'm trying
so
to
then you
appeal.
believe
No,
in
no,
so then
no,
you
no.
believe in the Anunkai.
On the what?
Do you believe in the Anunkai
You mean the Anunnakis?
or the Anunnakis? Yeah.
Anunnakis. Who's Anunnakis? Are you talking about those villagers? Anunnakis. Of course not. As far as I'm
You don't
concerned,
believe in
it's
them. All right.
bruh. I don't believe any stories. When I hear a story, I take a story, I remove all the sentimental aspect of the story, and I look at it based on possibility, probability, and actuality. Okay, history, you cannot trust anything you hear about history that gives you details of stories because human beings like to lie. You
But
think
you
human beings are
just
there?
but you just said that we have to possibly consider the idea that there may be a race outside, and the possibility is there could be the possibility of aliens existing before we could be able to consider. So this is why I asked you, do you believe in the Anunkai
Check
or the
this out. But
Anunnaki?
yeah,
If
but
however you
but
pronounce it, I'm
even
asking that
if
question because it's a genuine question.
but the Anunnakis is just one type of alien. But I wasn't talking about one type of alien. I'm talking about the idea of something intelligent, biological, but not human. That's all I mean. So whatever image you want to give to me, whatever special identity, that's your problem. I am not assigning special identity. I'm simply talking about the principle itself.
So let me see if I get what you're saying. We have to possibly consider the idea. And I want just the panel to hear what the man is saying. We have to possibly consider that there could be the possibility of aliens or another race out there that created us. But we're saying to you that's not what happened. We're saying to you that there is a creator responsible for the grand design, the laws of physics, the laws of nature.
That's not
And you're
true.
here saying
Listen,
it's not there.
listen. Okay, there is no grand design
Yo, all right, brother, I hear you. I hear you,
You
I
do,
hear you.
do you know why there is no grand design?
Why is there no grand design?
Because there is no grand blueprint. You can't have a design without a blueprint. You see, nature has been able to produce patterns that appear to be designed to human beings because the only way that human beings know how to produce such type of complicated things is through design. So we don't know how to create certain types of complexity without designing. So
Why?
we produce
Why?
because that's how our brains are wired. But nature doesn't need that. Nature works based on the unique constitutions of things. Everything has a unique form. So when something of a specific form meets another thing of another specific form, there's only a limited amount of reactions you can have. And then that reaction will then go on to affect something else. And then it continues down a set of patterns that leaves, complexity in nature. It's amazing. And it's happening, bro, in the quadrillions at a time. A quadrillion. Literally, right now, as you and I are speaking, right? There's so much oxygen going down your lungs. If you could count the number of atoms of oxygen going down your lungs and count the amount of atoms of oxygen going down my lungs, you have enough, to fill the whole planet out atomically. But then
All right.
imagine the whole world. So this,
Let me ask you a very honest question. Very, very honest question. You believe in the moon, correct?
no.
You don't believe in the moon. You have never seen the moon.
Oh, I've seen the moon.
You've seen the moon. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So that you know the moon is there.
The moon is there.
Can the moon just decide, I'm going to literally just move out of my orbital space and crash to Earth and proceed to come near to what we call Earth?
An object in motion remains in motion unless acted upon by an external force.
You just said there's no God. So we're eliminating the possibility that there is an external force. We are dealing with the idea of the
And
moon. And I'm
an external
asking,
force is
can
not
the
God.
moon just decide that, you know what, I'm going to literally I'm going to come to 3,000 or 4,000 kilometers towards the planet Earth? Can the moon just decide to
Bakanga,
do
what
that?
he's saying is that without God, there's no gravitational pull. Gravity doesn't exist unless God is. You see how they
No, no,
suspend
no,
their
no, no, no,
regular
no, no, no,
logic?
no, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
They
yeah,
suspend their.
friend.
Hold on,
yeah.
We're
Lyndon.
not
Relax,
dealing
brother.
with. We're
Lyndon, let me
not
speak to
dealing
Lyndon,
with
Lyndon, let him
Lyndon. Let me
talk,
God.
speak to
Lyndon. Let him
Bakanga.
talk, Lyndon.
Lyndon, let me speak to
I asked you.
Bakanga for a minute. I know you asked. You're
Respectfully, I
speaking a
asked you for
lot.
the
Hold on,
question.
Lyndon,
brother.
Lyndon,
Oh,
stop,
relax,
Lyndon.
brother. Calm down. He suspended his actual. I mean, he sounds like he's an educated brother, right? I mean, but he
He,
wants to suspend
no,
the
I don't
things that
think,
he
I don't
knows.
think the brother is educated.
No, he knows about gravity, but somehow he's suspending that there's no gravitational pull, and all that he's learned about science, the elements, he's ready to suspend that just so that he could justify that some god or designer or creator that doesn't exist is. It
No,
doesn't
no,
make any
no.
sense, brother.
No, no,
Pharaoh,
no, no. And this is what I'm
Pharaoh.
saying. I'm
No,
saying to you, you
Lyndon,
shouldn't
Lyndon,
speak to
hold up,
me.
Lyndon, Lyndon, Lyndon. Hold on, I'm
Answer my
talking,
question.
Lyndon.
Answer my question.
Lyndon, I'm talking, Lyndon. I'm the host, bro. Come down.
I fully know that, brother. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. So, Pharaoh, I'm accusing Lyndon of lacking education. But
That's fine.
what I think Lyndon has is professional indoctrination. He has been indoctrinated. He was not educated, but indoctrinated.
But do you think that he?
Is
I
that
know
a
he's
way to
from the
get out? Is
Caribbean,
So
that a
that
right?
way to
means,
get out of
Hold
my
on, Lyndon,
question?
Lyndon, Lyndon. We're gonna get to you. Can you relax your nerves a little bit? Maybe tap the screen or something if you have an impulse, and just let me have a little 30-second conversation with Pakanda. Is that okay, or is God not liking that?
Well, respectfully, I asked a question, and I think
We are going to
if
answer.
it,
You
it
don't.
will
You,
be
are
it
you a
will be
child?
respectful if you could
Are
answer
you a
my
child?
question.
I have children like that. They say, "But Daddy, I asked for the cookie right now. You can wait until after dinner and get it. Just relax, bro." So Bakanda, I think he's edge. I think in the Caribbean, school and education is important. So he went through his regular schooling, right?
right.
And so this is not somebody that, because there are those that just are not educated, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you didn't have an education, you didn't have it. There's nothing wrong with that. But someone that is
No,
educated, you hold them to a higher standard. Why is he suspending the things that he actually learned and know? Like he's saying that the moon is able to get out of its gravitational pull if it was not for God. What?
I never said I
hold up.
asked about the idea
You
of the
know why?
moon.
You know why I even entertain someone like Lyndon? And Lyndon,
I
don't get me wrong, okay, Lyndon. Outside of these debates and all the nonsense that we say, you're a man and you take care of yourself. We understand. You have the basic knowledge to take care of yourself in this world. I just think that your beliefs are mumbo jumbo, and in the world of beliefs, you probably should not be talking about what you believe. You should keep it a secret. You should keep it deep in your heart
well,
until
I
you
hear
until
you.
you gain until you gain mastery over it. Now, am I saying you shouldn't believe in God, Lyndon? You can believe in God for your own entertainment. The whole point of this conversation is I made a statement: there is no God. So if you come up, you should be smart enough to know that you're supposed to be come up and prove that there is a God. Not give me useless arguments. Okay. If you have been making your entire argument this time, ignoring the knowledge of science that we have, that we've already arrived at a point of somewhat reasonable, conclusive agreement that this is how things are, this is how they work. We've tested it multiple times. Basic biology, things about the weather, the world. How can you ask me if the moon can just decide to move? The moon is not a living thing. You and I both know that the moon is not a living thing. So if you're gonna ask me about something deciding to leave and move, ask me about something like an animal. Can a monkey just get up and decide to leave the tree it's on? Of course it can. Because through the natural world and its natural evolution, it developed the ability to make decisions. The moon didn't. At least
Is
as far as we know,
is
as far as we know, the
right.
moon does not have the ability to make decisions as far as we know. If it does, maybe it's been choosing to do exactly what it's doing right now.
All right. Can I now respond to your answer?
No, you can give me your final statement and then I'll go on to the next guest.
Very good. Nice. Not a problem. So let me say this. I heard you said the idea of probably me not being educated to talk about the subject matter. No problem. Here's the situation. We had a conversation based on the grand design, and you went ahead by saying that there is no the idea of creation does not exist. So here's what I want to say to you. The fact that you could not answer the question alone shows that you yourself does not possess enough education on the grander scheme of things, moving away from our earth science to the point of what we call physics, chemistry, etc., etc. At the end of the day, all I'm saying to you is, right? The moon cannot just move out of its axis. It
Hold up,
cannot.
bro. Hold up.
It
You
literally
got you
cannot.
got 21 seconds left, bro.
And what I'm saying to you is, yeah, if you it's okay if this is your platform and you will be able to debate as much as you want to debate. What I'm saying is, if you want to directly have a realer, deeper conversation on the avenue of God, do more research. Good night.
Lyndon, You see, your assumption, you religious people, is always that you have something to teach us. You have nothing to teach. You think telling us about your fairy tale stories is teaching us? Huh? Whenever religious people say, "Oh, let's have a conversation," what they're really saying is they want to preach to you. Unfortunately, anytime a religious person, I don't care how intellectual that religious person is, it's all about the preaching, which is not a bad thing, really. It's not a bad thing to want to preach to someone.
No, it is. Let me tell
It's
you why,
it's
Bakanga.
just being disingenuous about it that I think is bad. You can try.
What's disingenuous about it and irks me and is asinine is when they add the preaching. I don't mind them preaching about their Bible or Quran or whatever,
Uh
but
oh, I seen that galaxy.
when they add the words physics, science, biology, chemistry, algebra, or anything else that makes sense
What's up,
into their
bro?
argument, that is what is a disservice, because none of that he quoted, none of those subject matters support a God or creation. And this grand design that they're talking about, what's interesting about this is if this was such a great grand design, why is there more death and not life on in this universe than there is life?
There's
It,
far
it,
more
it, it- there's far
chaos,
more chaos
destruction.
and death.
Yup.
Look at Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, all of the planets around us
Bro, the
are
whole of
dead,
space is
bro.
unbreathable. The whole of space is unbreathable. It's a
All
hostile zone.
dead. The
Yeah,
next
apparently.
the next solar system that is close to us that might, and I do say might, may have life on it, any form of life, is 25 trillion miles away. 25 trillion miles away. We know that anything within the 25 trillion to us is dead. There's not any or very limited life. So this grand designer sucks, in my opinion.
Hi
Grand
guys, what's up, guys?
What's
Thank you,
up,
man.
meaning? Are you
Thank you.
coming in disagreement or agreement?
Disagreement. I've been this. This is my second time on your platform. The first time I came, we had a 3 hours discussion. We spoke about China, Africa, all
Okay,
those
we're not
things.
going that long today.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
so
not
you
today, not
you
today, not
better
today.
bring a specific point.
Today,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked you last time, which you didn't answer, which is this thing. I am here for God. Okay, I'm a theist. Okay, this is my 2 points. The first thing is you cannot, right? Delete an infinite negatives by adding infinite positive. In other words, in other words, there is a necessity for time to start somewhere, and therefore creation has an origin. That's the first thing I want to put out there. That's taking away Pharaoh's point about everything being an output of input, which might lead to an infinite regress. Then the second thing,
No,
okay,
no.
can I say the second thing so we continue from there?
No. What you just
Okay.
said, your last point, you need to be specific because
Mm-hmm.
time does not behave like matter, and matter doesn't behave like space. So when you make such a stupid statement, because I really truly think it's stupid, bro. With all due respect, you're pretending as if time we even conceptualize it the same way as we will conceptualize space and matter. The
It's
history
time.
of
It's time.
time
It's time
and
linear.
we conceptualize it linearly. That's how we conceptualize it.
Bakanga, you were
But
the
in
one speaking about standardization the
bro,
last time. Do you remember?
hold up, hold up.
Okay.
Stay in this conversation right now. Don't go to last time. Stay
Okay.
here. Stay present in the
Okay.
presence.
That's
Present.
fine. That's fine. Let's
Don't
go.
go to yesterday.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
stay here. Let's stay here. I'm listening.
That's how we conceptualize time. But do we experience time in what we would say real time? Do we experience it linearly? Right now, as you're sitting down right now, can you tell me time is going forward or backwards? Is it something that you're feeling, or is it kind of something we just conclude? You see, time, we experience time stagnant, stationary. We actually measure our calculation of time is
It's
by
entropy.
comparing the relative movements of different things around us,
Okay.
right? So if I'm in a room that's all white, the floor is all white, everything is white, and all of a sudden I see a bird move from one part of the room to another. Now all of
Becomes
a
an
sudden,
instance.
yes,
That becomes an
but
instance as a point of
right,
reference,
right.
right?
But it is not I who is in motion.
So,
It's the
but
bird that's in the motion.
okay,
But the experience that I'm experiencing is stagnant.
okay. Can I? So, if you are using that, right? as a basic, I get what you're saying, right? Our experience of time, okay? Bakanga, if it's all about our experience of time, right? Then there is literally everything becomes subjective to experience. Therefore, a mad person, according to him, time is in a sense whatever he can basically craft in his mind, and that is not true. That is not consistent. Okay, time is actually linear. You cannot just come and tell me it's how we conceptualize it. Oh, it tells us about how our minds work. Time is a linear thing, right? And you cannot, in other words, you cannot
Leading,
negatively, right?
leading. Hold
Right?
up, hold up, hold up.
Okay.
Leading thinks because he says right that it means it's correct. Leading,
Lead,
is God is God infinite? Is God infinite and is God infinite? Was God here from the
That would
beginning?
have answered my second point that I would have said would have
Well, hold
answered
on.
that. Yes.
Let's stay on the first point because I'm a little slow and I need to catch up to you. So the first thing is God infinite? Yes or
Yes.
no? Okay. And did God create time?
Yes.
Okay. So God created time. So there was no time prior to God creating it. So how is God infinite then?
So so the problem is this, right? You are looking for physical qualities to add God
No,
within
I'm
the
just looking for
time
things to
space
make sense
continuum.
that you're saying.
Say it again.
If God is infinite, but you're saying that time is limited, then you already have a problem because how can God be infinite
So
when
so
time is
okay.
created?
Say wait. Please say the last thing you said.
How is God infinite if God created time at a point? So he was not existing prior to that time? Or there
No.
was no.
No.
Okay, so
No.
he
No. No.
created
No. No.
time.
No.
How long did it take him to create time?
No. 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 So you see, the first thing is you have
How
conflated two
long
things.
leading? How
Can
long
I
did he
can I answer your question?
Yeah, answer it. How
Okay.
long it's an interrogation. How long did he take
Okay. So
him
let me
to
answer the
create
first one,
time?
right?
Okay, go ahead.
The first thing is you have conflated two things. Okay, you have conflated the being, right, with its processes and its operations. You must learn to separate the being
Leading.
from
I'm
its
going to get you
operations.
leading. I'm going to get you back on point. This is to answer a question. The answer is either yes, no, a time, or
No,
you
you
don't
you can't
know.
ask
no,
me a
no, no,
question and
no.
How
tell me
Hold
to
up, hold
long
up,
answer
did
it,
it
bro.
take?
It's
hold up.
unfair.
Pharaoh, hold up, hold up. Leading. What was Pharaoh's
Yes.
question? What was Pharaoh's question?
Say, if God is infinite, right? Like, when did it create time? In other words, he's trying to find out if
Just say
time.
when. If either you know or you don't know, just say when. When.
Say it again, please.
When did God create time? Just say when.
Well, at the beginning of time.
When was the beginning of time?
Well, I can't. Of course, I don't know when the beginning of time is. I don't know.
How okay.
However,
How long was
however,
it? How long was
space,
it? Hold
time
up.
came
Hold up.
together at the same instance.
Hold up. Hold up. How can God be infinite if time is finite? Because infinity is a
I
quality
never
of
said
time.
time is finite.
Bro, listen to me. Time is infinite.
I never said that too. See, I never said you can't put me in boxes. You are asking
Leading,
me
leading,
questions.
leading,
Just give me the
leading,
space
leading,
to answer.
leading.
Okay. It's an interrogation, and I came up. Yes.
Is time infinite?
Say, is time infinite?
Yes or no?
No.
Is time finite?
Okay. Yes. Wait, it's not finite. I want to put something. It has a starting point. That's what I want to say. It has a starting point.
That's the
Finite.
definition of finite.
Holy
That's fine.
shit.
That's fine. That's fine. I
Why
just
is
want to
that
say
so?
it
I didn't
has
think
a
we'd get
starting
stopped
point.
there. Why is it so difficult? This is the problem with trying to defend the indefensible, is because you start to have to lie to yourself. Bro, this is
Yep.
a very simple
So you guys
question,
are
bro.
asking me questions,
Leading,
right?
leading,
You guys are
leading.
asking me
Listen, hold
questions,
on.
right?
Let's reset. Listen to
It
me. Listen, I'm
has
gonna
a
listen.
starting
Leading,
point.
leading.
That's what I
Let's just
said.
reset. Hold on. Let's reset for a second. Here's what I
Because it
want you to
starts does
do.
not mean it must end. I just want to
Okay,
say
that's
that.
fine. Leading. I understand that you're defending your God, and I understand what you're trying to do. But I'm going to give you just a little piece of advice, food for thought, because I was in your
Well,
same
it's not
situation.
necessary.
Listen. Rather than think that you have to come up with an answer because there's a get you moment, just answer the question naturally, bro. We're not trying to
You
catch
guys
you
are
with things.
asking me questions, and I
Leading,
have to
leading,
answer. But
leading,
let me
leading,
answer, though.
leading.
It's an
Relax.
interrogation, and I came up.
Listen, relax. Take a deep breath. What we're trying to say is it's going to be more value and it's going to go by faster. We're going to get more value from it.
That's
If you
true.
don't lie to yourself, you don't have to make things up to win or to be, you think that we're trying to get you a get you moment. We're trying to understand your perspective. Your perspective is your perspective. Just be honest with yourself and say what it is. If you believe that time is infinite, say it's infinite and stand on it. Because it's very difficult when you go back and forth and you just say, oh, you're just saying this because no. Be clear. If you don't know, just say you don't know, bro.
So if we start counting from zero, right? If we have a set from zero to infinity, is it a finite set?
Yes.
Okay. So in other words, so where do you stop?
I mean, if you're going forward, you're
Yes.
saying that time is infinite going forward. But if you're saying that there was a starting point, then you're saying it does have a finite to it for its beginning. So it can be infinite in both directions. Negative numbers.
No,
Negative
why?
numbers.
Why is even? No, no, no,
That's
no,
what I
no, 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 no,
said.
no, no, no.
Right?
Linen, keep quiet,
Oh
Linen.
my god. I wouldn't be able to
We're
talk if you guys
literally
are just
talk.
talking over me.
Linen, if you bitch about, bro, just if I say talk, just stop talking, bro. It's still my show. I have a specific type of value I like to get out of this conversation. Y'all like to come up here and do like what Pharaoh was saying. It's just that you lie to yourself enough that you always think every question is a trap. So you have to double think the question to where if you just give your natural answer, you realize that your natural answer doesn't require too much explanation. Okay?
Okay, can I
Are we on
speak?
the same page?
No, we are. We've always been.
Bakanga, give
Okay.
me mod power so anytime someone interrupts you, it could be very simple and you can continue the conversation.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because I love
So
muting.
Yeah.
can I so I asked the question, right? If a state starts from zero and goes all the way to infinity, it's my turn to speak, right? Can I speak?
No, no, no. I was talking.
Okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
You're the one who's trying to gaslight us as
I'm
if the
not.
whole point of our conversation is not us talking towards the origins. We're already going backwards. We're not in the context of time moving forward. So the finality of time is based on the direction of our movement. We are starting from the present moment and we are talking about time going back towards creation or whatever beginning you're talking about. That's the context of this whole thing. So in that sense, time is not infinite. Time is finite. You can start from now, based on what you claim, to a specific point when God decided to create time. So why are we going to all the rest of the bullshit?
Can I speak? Can I speak now?
Is time finite or infinite when we're talking of creation or the beginning?
So from now backward, it is finite.
Is God
From now
finite?
backwards.
Is God finite when we talk about God from right now going backwards?
No.
God is infinite.
Yeah.
How do you measure that God is infinite?
Because by the whole fact that he was not in time, right? And if we put that as an X,
Hold
as an
up, hold up,
X,
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. God did not exist.
say it again.
You said God was not in time, so he didn't exist. How can something exist without being in time?
Well, again, I could fall back to your rhetoric. Is that just how our brains
How can
understand
something
it?
exist without being in time?
Say it again.
How can something exist without being in time?
Because it does not need time to define its properties.
No, time is one of the essential qualities for existence.
So that's what I just said. This
Okay,
thing
so
does
how
not
can
need.
something,
It's not dependent on time. It's not contingent. This is not a contingent being. It's
if
a
it's not,
necessary
if
being,
it's,
and
if
time itself is contingent upon this necessary being. If not, there is an infinite regress.
that's impossible. That's impossible. You can't
Please
have an
explain.
infinite being in terms of you're comparing a being with a principle, bro. Bro, think it's like you comparing a tree with gravity. You're comparing a tree with gravity. God is a being, right? God is made up of something, right? Or is he made up of nothing?
Its substance, I do not know.
Bro, just answer the freaking question. Is God made up of something or made up of nothing?
I do not know. You asked me genuine to give you genuine answers.
Oh, you don't know.
His substance, I do not know.
Oh, you don't know if God
The
has
substance
substance
of
or if it
God,
has.
I do not know.
But listen. I'm asking about his constitution.
Exactly.
Is so Either God is like God, like there is something that constitutes God, or there is nothing that constitutes God. Which one is it?
Like there is something that constitutes God, or there is nothing. Again, I'm giving you genuine answer. His
So,
substance
so,
or
so,
his constituents or his composition, I do not know.
okay, good. Is it possible that God has no substance, no constitution?
It is possible.
Then how will he exist if he doesn't have substance or
Well,
constitution?
I just said it. Even if God, right?
No, no,
What?
no. You cannot just say it. You have to link the principles, right? You cannot go to God of the gaps. Bullshit. You need to explain how you transition from having no substance to existence. So if you're trying to imply that God exists, I don't care if he exists as a contingent or non-contingent thing. He must be within he must be within the bounds of the three fundamental ingredients necessary for something to be considered existential. That thing must be somewhere at some point in time, in some way, shape, or form. If it is nowhere, at no point in time, as nothing, it doesn't exist by definition. So you tell me if your God has substance or no substance. Just if you say you don't know, then you're open to the possibility that your God does not exist, because that would mean he has no substance. Because if you think God exists, you must be sure that he has substance. If you're not certain that
Bakanga.
God has substance, then God doesn't exist. Do you understand that?
Bakanga. Again, I've said it, right? I've said it.
Every
He does
existence.
not exist within those three things. One.
No,
Okay.
no, no, no. Hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. Stop doing this. I'm trying to teach you here. You're not
Let me
listening.
answer.
We're no longer speaking English. Do not use the word exist to associate with God. If you don't understand that existence means being somewhere at some point in time, in some shape or form, that's the meaning of the word. You cannot apply that word to God if God does not meet the criteria. It's simple. So if you say God exists, you're saying that God is somewhere at some point in time, in some shape or form. That must be true for God to exist. If not, the word existence cannot be applied to God. Existence means being, to be. And then guess what? The idea of being and the idea of not being are ideas that we equally understand. We understand that something cannot be and something can be. That is why things that are have certain properties and things that are not have certain properties.
And
Bro,
what are the properties of things that are not?
they are nowhere at no point in time, in no shape or form.
That's not a
They're,
property.
bro, listen, they are outside space, time, and matter. Because we're talking of concepts, when you are conceptualizing its properties, you realize that, okay, the properties of these things suggest that it is not. And the properties of these things suggest that it is. It's simple. It's not complicated. You don't get to. What does the word existence mean? You
Well,
tell
you've
me.
described you. Well,
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I'll go.
you
I'll
tell me
go.
to your understanding. You tell me.
Say it again.
What does the word existence mean?
Well, to be. That's
What
what
does
it. That's
what
just what it means. It means to be.
what does to be mean?
It's exactly that. Listen. You're gonna let me speak, okay?
What does to be
No,
mean?
not where. What does to be mean, right? So you're to be right is basically, in other words, to find yourself within the things you have described. However, these things are contingent
Hold up,
and are
hold up,
only
hold up, hold up,
contingent to
hold
the
up, hold
extent
up,
to which
hold
there
up,
is
hold up,
something
hold up, hold up,
necessary.
hold up. What does to be mean, bro? Stop
I'm
giving me
just I'm
information I didn't ask you.
explaining it.
I didn't ask you for an explanation.
That's what you just asked.
What does to be mean? Just say what it means. It means what?
To be means to be. It talks about being.
Anything that is somewhere at some point in time in some shape or form. That's what to be mean, right? So if you say something is, you're implying that it is somewhere at some
You
point
know
in
what?
time in some shape or form. If you say something is and it can be found nowhere and it can be found in no point at no point in time, it can be found in no shape or form, that means you lied. That thing
So
is not there.
it's known being it's known is let's make this a little bit philosophical, right? So it's non being in existence.
It's non-being an existence. No,
It,
obviously, non-being is not an
then
existence.
you can't conceptualize it.
Yes, you can.
Oh, Bakanga. This is my brother.
Non-being, listen, do you
Where's bring
understand?
your
Hold
statue?
up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Are you saying that everything that human beings conceptualize exists?
Say it again. That's I've not said that. I have not
Okay,
said that.
so
I said, oh my
hold
god.
up, hold up. We can conceptualize something that doesn't exist. I don't understand why that's strange for you.
Say it again.
We have the ability to conceptualize things that don't exist. You understand what context it is in which we mean something exists, right? In actuality, within space, time, and matter, not in your brain, bro. So if I'm talking about non-existence as a concept to describe a physical state or a lack of a physical state, you should be able to understand it.
Can I ask you a question? Can I? Bakanga. Can I ask you a question?
I'm
Bring
just
out your
trying to. I'm
bring
just
out
trying
your
to.
statue and slap it a little bit.
I'm just trying to calculate if it's worth it to keep talking to you or going to the next guest.
Okay. Can I ask you a question though? Do your thoughts exist? Do you have thoughts?
What do you think?
No, I'm just asking.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
have thoughts.
Okay. Now I know that I know I do have thoughts,
Show
right?
me. Show me your thoughts.
That's the problem. Because if all that
Hey,
existed was
hey, hey, hey,
visible,
hey, hey,
if
hey,
all
hey,
that
hey, hey,
existed
hey,
was
hey, hey,
visible,
hey, hey, hey. Show me your thoughts. Show me your thoughts.
that's what I'm saying.
No, 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 that's not what you're saying. I said, show me your thoughts. So either you're showing me your thoughts or you're telling me you don't know and you cannot. Show me your thoughts.
I cannot show you my thoughts.
Prove to me
I
that you
could
have thoughts.
express them, not show you.
Okay, okay, good, good. Sure. You see that act of expression?
Hmm.
Those are your thoughts. Do you have an act of expression? No. Thoughts is a process. It's a chemical electromagnetic process in your brain. We use the word thoughts or thinking to describe that process so we can kind of utilize biological
And you are now
functions.
saying the process is inexistent.
No,
That is I
no,
don't
listen.
understand.
No, I said I did not have thoughts. Are you
Okay.
brainless? Are you
Okay.
brainless? You
No,
see how
you
you
just
lie
said
to
thoughts.
yourself?
We use the word thoughts to concept. You just said that.
Listen, listen.
Hmm.
I am thoughts. I can say that.
Okay. Okay.
I
Hmm.
don't have thoughts because the thoughts is me. I am the thoughts. I mean, what am I? Right? If I had to break it down and explain what I am as a being to you, does it begin and end with my thoughts or not? So do I it's okay, do I have life? Well, I don't have life, but I'm alive. Is there a me after I die or after I don't have life anymore? No, I am the life. In that sense, I never said thoughts didn't exist. I answered your question very carefully. Now, what was your point?
So and you did ask me a very good question. Show me your thoughts, right? If everything that existed was visible, I feel like, or if we think or if we assume that everything that existed was visible, I think like we are going to be missing a lot out of life. I have
No, you
stated,
could show me your
I have,
thoughts. You could show me your
okay.
thoughts right now if you really wanted to. The problem is that you probably don't want to suffer a huge split to your forehead and to spill brain juice on the floor. But you can show me those chemicals that are electromagnet that are experiencing, reactions in your head. You can split it open. We can see the physical representation of your thoughts, which is those, you know. But you wouldn't want to show it to me, obviously. I know why. Because I clearly wouldn't want to show you my thoughts, right? The idea of thoughts is like the idea of
Hmm.
spirit. It's a
Hmm.
concept that describes, okay, it's like I used to tell people, I am my body, and
Oh,
my
can I
spirit
actually? I
is
have a
a
good question. When you
concept.
finish, when you finish. Oh, sorry if you lost your train of thought.
I didn't lose my train of thought.
Oh,
I just, I am my body, and my spirit is a concept that helps me understand how my body works. So, because how my body works constitute multiple principles, I gather all those principles together, and that the total knowledge of those principles helps me understand something I call my behavior or my spirit. So if someone says, hey, you have a bad spirit, they talk about my behavior. That's really what the word spirit means. Now, if you ask me, show me your spirit, well, spirit is not a physical thing. Same thing with thoughts. Thinking is a biological function of the brain. Really, if you look at it from its most natural perspective, just like your stomach does digestion, your stomach produces gastric juice and digests food. Your brain allows for chemical and electrical reactions based on data coming into sensory organs.
Okay.
I was listening to an interesting lecture today and it was amazing because even when we think we make decisions, we're not
Mm-hmm.
really making decisions. It's, for example, if I ask you, well, which part of you is the real you
Mm-hmm.
in the literal sense? Can you answer that question?
It's a hard question. If I lean towards my Christian thinking, I might say it's my spirit. If I lean towards a more secular view, I might say it's just my body and the food I eat, the banana I ate yesterday, and stuff like that.
When you say, okay, let me, I'm curious, bro. When you say my spirit, what
Hmm.
happens to you? How do you feel when you say that?
So when I say my spirit,
Yeah.
I'm hinting more about purpose, something that is transcendent, which goes beyond myself and which is out there
No, no, no,
basically.
no, no, no. When you think of yourself as a spirit, what do you
Hmm.
think you have achieved?
When I think of myself as a spirit,
Yeah.
the first thing I've achieved is identity. That's very important. Then I've also
Okay,
achieved
okay.
connection. Hmm.
What connection?
Connection with other human beings out there. Because, like I said, I understand my spirit as something which is transcendent. It's not limited within a form, but it's basically an underlying network, right, that connects me with other individuals out there. And this thing
Does that
oftentimes guides
network,
my
is
okay.
it a living thing or a non-living thing?
Is it a living thing or a non-living thing?
Yeah, is your spirit, is it alive or is it dead? Is it like something that's alive or is it dead? Because the way you're talking of your spirit, it seems like your spirit is different from your body, right?
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah, so
mean,
the
it's not like
spirit,
it's yeah, yeah. I'll use that word. I'll just say a little bit. It's of course with the biological body, correct? Is that what you're saying? The physical body, because it also they call it a spirit body sometimes. So it might just be the three might be fused together. So
bro,
like
the
you mean the
moment you use the
biological
word body,
body?
if you use the word body, it always means physical.
No.
Something
Okay.
cannot be something except you're talking conceptually, for example, like a body of papers or a
Mm-hmm.
body of ideas. See, if you're
Mm-hmm.
not conceptualizing, in any
Mm-hmm.
other context, the word body implies physicality. Anytime you're talking of shape and form, it implies physical, because that's the physics of a thing. The physics of a thing is its constitution. So two things can be in two different dimensions and still be very physical. So that's why you religious people, I keep telling you that you guys are living in a fictitious mumbo jumbo world. Because if your God is real, your God is not a fucking spirit, it's a physical being. But there's different levels of physicality, as we quite know. For example, something like air is very physical, right? As a fluid, things can float in it. But so is water, and yet water has a lesser viscosity, a lesser resistance to flow than air.
Mm-hmm.
But it's physical. So there's different types of physicality. In order for something to exist, it must be physical.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's purely conceptual. That is where, and this is a fundamental philosophical debacle that most modern debaters or most TikTok debaters don't understand. You guys are in the ancient world, ancient philosophy, they kind of understood that. They understood what we mean when we say the real world. Their real debate was about the world of imagination, the world of
Okay.
the thought.
Okay. The heavens.
So they decided, the ancient philosophers decided to separate reality from
Mm-hmm.
imagination, then actively step into imagination and explore the laws that govern the imagination of man. Because our imagination is perhaps our most powerful weapon or the most powerful function of our mind.
Okay.
Because whether
I think
something
you're,
is
you're talking about platonic heavens. Am I following you? Platonic heavens.
people call it platonic heaven
Mm-hmm.
because it's little Plato kind of, they kind of coined it behind him, but that's not
Okay.
just, it's not just platonic heaven, it's all heavens. The
Okay.
same way
Okay.
that platonic heaven
Mm-hmm.
forms is
Mm-hmm.
the same way culturally that all heavens or all ideas of the afterlife form, even up to
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism. It is
Okay.
in the world of the mind. That's why you notice that all these religions tend to have a tendency of trying to guide you back to your mind. It's the world of the imagination. In the world of the imagination, you have the capability to deal with both things that are real and things that are not real. So in a society that is conscious of that, They will carefully teach you from a very young age to not be careless with your imagination. In such a society, they will say if you let children wander too far off into their imagination, they will never grow up. You know what that means? That means that people that remain too much into their imagination as children, though their physical body keeps growing, their mind never matures. Because those fictitious imaginative beliefs become a roadblock when time comes to learn independently. When there's no teacher, when you're out in the field and you're supposed to be learning, you will literally be seeing the world through the lens of your mythology. So you will not have any practical ability to solve problems.
Okay.
The belief in God,
Mm-hmm.
hence I say to people, the belief in God is the most efficient way to control a human being. This is something that has been consciously understood. It's not random. People are easier to control when there's only one God than when there's thousands of God. That's why monotheism has been so successful. It's easier to build an empire with monotheism than to build an empire with polytheism. And the Romans went about to do that shit. The Romans actually did polytheism for a long time until Constantine came and the Roman Empire was at a state where, yeah, too many different loyalties to too many different ideas is a problem. We need people to have the same to have loyalty to the one idea. And if we can channel that idea through us and make ourselves the mediator of this idea, we get to rule these motherfuckers for the next 2,000 years.
I don't
Every
think that's
every
what
tribe,
Constantine was thinking when he made it a state religion. But I want to go back to
no,
what
that's
our topic
exactly
of the
what they were
day.
thinking.
Okay. No
That's
problem.
not just what they were thinking, that's what they did. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
okay, no problem. But I want to go back to the, I want to go back to my question, to the discussion, right? So I want to ask you is, so do circles exist? Do circles exist? Do squares exist? Do these shapes exist? Does a circle exist?
Who are you talking to?
You, I'm asking you a question, right?
Well, that's not a question.
Does a circle exist? A circle does not exist? I'm asking you. I'm asking you, does a circle exist? A
I mean, the
circle.
answer, bro, you already answered the question.
Please, could you just answer it? I don't know. It's a simple question. Does a circle exist?
But you just asked me.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why you're gonna ask me is because the circle exists. The way
I
you
mean,
just
so
asked
if
me.
the only reason why you were asking me, the only reason you were asking me if God exists is because God does exist, I could fall back on that too. Is that all right?
No, that doesn't apply to God because God is not a physical thing that we interact with on a
Are
daily
circles
basis.
physical?
So do you say that again?
Are circles physical?
Yeah, as we understand them.
Circles are not. Circles are not. You've never showed me. You can't show me a physical circle. What you will show me at most is a piece of paper, correct? That has taken the form of a circle. That's very important.
What is the form? What is the shape of this ball?
Great question. What is a shape? Well, let's say it's a circle for now. Yeah.
Is a circle an object or is a circle a shape? Dum dum. If you see a circular shape, you've seen a circle.
It's a
That's the point.
circular shape. So this is a circular shape. A circle is a form. And guess what? Guess what? Physical things take upon that form, and our brains recognize that form to be able to identify them distinct from other things.
A circle is a
That's
form that is visible and observable, consistent and present enough that in all contexts that we utilize it, it is not a question for argument. It's like me asking you, does the
you
sun
can't show me a
exist?
circle though. You can't. You can't show me a physical circle. Simple. You agree?
Again, are shapes physical?
Say it again. Are shapes physical?
Yeah.
No.
How do you make a shape?
Well, you might conceptualize one form. You might download it from maybe Plato's Heavens. It's a form.
Again, forms do exist.
Great, great. I like
For
that.
something to exist, it must be somewhere, in some way, shape, or form at some point in time. These are the
Great.
foundation of existence. So guess what? The shape of this plate exists, and the shape of this specific plate is a circle. That's why the circle exists. A circle, you can have, there are different types of circles. So I
So
don't know what type of circle you're talking about, but when you said circle, I think you didn't understand that there's different types.
it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter.
Can I say something now? Okay. So you just said we can deduce that a circle does exist, right? Because of the bottle. Correct? Is that basically what that's basically
No,
what you said?
because of what it's fundamentally defined as shape and form. So, as long as you live in a world where things have shape and form, the
Hmm.
shape and form of a specific thing is that specific shape, right?
Oh,
So, a square, something that's a square, that's a square. Something that is a rectangle, that's a rectangle. Something that's a triangle, that's a triangle.
no, 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 no,
But
no,
in
no,
the
no, no.
English language, we invented another type of word just to not make people confused. So instead of saying, well, that's a triangle, you just say that's triangular. Instead of saying that's a circle, you say that is circular to help dumb people. Smart people might be able to do the IQ and shift, but most of us, is
To
English
help
not
them.
our native language. You know what I'm
This
saying?
my
So it
brother, God.
exists in there like that, right?
Hmm.
When you say something is hexagonal, you're literally saying it's a hexagon. A
Hmm.
pentagram, what's a pentagram?
Hmm.
It's just something that has the shape of a fucking pentagram, but we call it a pentagram.
So
Octogram,
it
you
has
name
a
it.
shape.
Yes. So
So
in
in
that
other
sense,
words, right, this thing, the definition of this thing is not in a sense, it's not it's contingent upon this form. But that's not the form in itself. So you see, so you're talking about a table. So if I walk in today and I have a square book and a square table, of course they are both squares, but is that what they are? Is that the
how
form?
how how do you
Those are
know?
depictions of the form. Can I
How do you
finish, please,
know? How do you
bro?
know that something
Okay.
is a circle?
Because it possesses the form of a circle. And this was
How do you know
Aristotle's.
that something
Oh, I
possesses the form of a circle?
said again.
How do you know that something possesses the form of a circle?
Of course, I know what a circle is. So when I look at it, I see the form of a circle. The
How do you know what a
form.
circle is?
Say it again.
How do you know what a circle is?
Me?
Yeah.
I've been thought about it. I was told what a circle is.
Yeah. What did they tell you it was?
Well, they just told me it has to just go around there. So
Bro, what were you told a square was?
four sides, four angles.
Yeah, but that could be a rectangle.
That's really true. Four equal sides. Sorry,
It could also be a trapezoid. So
four equal sides. Four equal sides.
what is a trapezoid?
Of course I know what it is. Like the two sides are longer, and the so basically one side is shorter. I can draw it, but I really can't explain it. It's like two longer sides by the east and west. Then the north is usually shorter. I mean, it might be inverted and something like that. Basically, something like
Okay.
that.
Those fall under a category of something that we call shapes, right?
Okay, great.
Okay. Shapes, fundamentally, what a physical shape would be is the form of any physical thing. So we can give the physical thing, we can identify a physical thing based on its form and its shape, or we can give it a different name, right? We can
Okay.
call it an apple, or we can call it maybe, I don't even know, what's a good way to call an apple that's relative to its shape?
Batana. I don't know. Anything you want to call it.
No, never mind. No, you get my point. Do you get my point though?
That we can name it whatever we want to name it.
Right. So the
Okay.
names that we give things sometimes are descriptive of its shape. Sometimes it's not based on its shape.
That's true. I agree.
But shape, something like a circle is something that the name that we give it is always going to be based on its shape.
Okay. But is that
So
a
it's a way of
circle?
identification. It's a form of identification based on shapes. I think people who are like mute, they teach them special symbols and shapes. You know,
Okay.
ways of communicating. But shapes exist. It's not purely
However,
conceptual.
my
They, ex-
brother.
they exist as long as physical things have form. Unless now you say form doesn't exist, then you can question shapes.
Bakanga, my brother. Okay, a square table, right, might has the form of a square, right? Has the form of a square. It does not say that table in itself is a square. It's a table. That
No,
particular table
having a
might have
form
been
of a
circular.
square makes it a square. The form of a square is a square.
So, in other words,
Nothing can have a form of a square without being a square.
good,
How can you have the form of a square without being a
good, good,
square?
good, good, good. Okay, good. That's good. So, what is a square in itself? What is a square in itself?
A square in itself, there's different types of squares, but all squares have four equal angles,
Great. Okay, okay, good. No problem. Right? Usually
four equal
90 degrees.
sides. Yeah,
Okay.
but in different scales. You can have different scales. You can have 2 by 2 by 2. You can have 4 by 4 by 4, 5 by 5 by 5. One could be made up of plank.
Of
One could be
different
made up of
scales.
wood. Yes, but what makes a thing a square is if at any point that thing has four equal sides, it's a square.
So by
Now,
this,
if you take multiple squares and you put them in a certain form, you can get a cube.
a cube.
It's like a cube would be a cube, right? Any shape,
Okay.
anything that's in the shape of a cube is a cube. That's what a cube is. It's like
Okay.
we had this like cubes of sugar that we used to use
Okay.
from back in the day.
That is true.
We used to
I
say,
know.
"Hey, give me a cube."
Cube of sugar, yeah, from the
If you say, "Give me
box.
sugar," yeah, it's a cube made of sugar, but it's a cube. You say, "Hey, man, let me have a cube." What's a cube? Cube is an object. It's shape, right?
So
Structure.
that again, you're
Structure, I
falling.
mean,
So
structure.
okay. Anyways, I have to conclude because I know other guests want to come up. Okay, I have to conclude. Please just let me conclude.
I don't know about you having to conclude, but I really thought that you were gonna make a certain argument, which I'm sure now you're not gonna make, because if you're trying to compare, like you were saying, Platonic heaven, right? Were you gonna make this statement and say that a square's true form is in Platonic heaven?
Say a square. No. What I wanted to say is something, right? Because because you would agree with me, because if you are saying all things visible or all things that exist, right, have to be in a sense hyper realistic, have to be physical, then you have to show me a square. However, we know square
Existence
things.
means
We know
physical.
we know things that have the shape of a square. We know square things. We know square boxes. We know rectangular cards. We know everything. Can you hold a square for me? Of course, you might say, well, when we speak to one another, we call that a square because it's a square table. It's a square. It's only a square because it possesses the form of a square, right? And its definition is contingent upon the fact that
So if something can possess the form of a square, where is the square? Where's
that's
the
the
actual
whole.
square?
Say it again.
Where is the square located?
Well, I don't know.
You realize that no matter what you
That's
say,
the
there's
only.
an original.
See, there is no other answer that is logical and just for
Hold
that.
up. No. The answer is actually very simple. The question here is that if there is like a prototype for all squares, it will still be just a square. However, the only difference is that it was the first shape to be made to have four equal sides. That's it.
Okay.
That's why this is shapes.
Okay.
And reality, the way physical matter is, it's moldable.
Okay.
The moldability of physical matter allows you to have the same shape in different places at different times, in different ways even.
Therefore,
So
if
much
so,
that there's now a need to, it makes it hard for you to identify something just by square, right? Imagine that the planets in space were different shapes. One was square, one was a rectangle, one was a triangle. And then Mars is a square and Earth is also a square. And you're living Jupiter. And someone is like, hey, yeah, man, just head over there. When you see one of those squares, just get on it. Well, now there's two squares. Exact same shape. If someone is not specific about which square I should go to, then I might go to the wrong one. So how do I differentiate between square A and square B? Where I just call square A Earth and I call square B Mars. So I'll just tell you now, hey, make sure you go to Earth. Now, what does square A have that square B doesn't have? A different color, a different size. But ultimately, there are two squares.
so Bakanga, my brother, if your only evidence for the existence of squares and circles is found in reality, is found in the things we can observe and perceive. I asked you to show me a circle, you showed me a square bottle. It is sufficient enough, therefore, to say, using your same reasoning and logic, that the evidence for God is abundant in the observable universe. Thank you.
Guess what? That will
Yes.
make God nothing but a concept and not an actuality. Because guess what? If think about it, right? It is the square shape of this paper is what gives the idea of a square actuality. So
Okay.
you will find no square anywhere else other than this paper. And anything else that you're going to find that's going to be a square is going to be something physical, right? Now, God is an idea, just like the square. But then show me God. Now, if you're going to be like the pagans, the pantheist, the pantheist believes that everything is God. If you make that argument, now I have to come from a different angle. But because you come from the, cult of Christianity,
Which
that
is
would be a difficult
monotheist.
question for you. Yeah,
It
that would be
wouldn't. It
difficult.
wouldn't be, of course. It wouldn't be a difficult question. Come on, Bakanga.
How will you answer it?
Well, I will fall back on your same logic, right? Because there you did show me the shape of a square, right? But the composition of that thing which is a square is different elements. That is a piece of paper.
But no,
So
no,
we
no,
assume
but
it's
no, 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 no,
carbon.
no, no, no. But a
Therefore,
square is not the composition. A square is a shape.
what you held in
So
your hand right there, the paper, is the
yeah, but
substance that has
but
been
when we talk
molded
about a
into the
square, we're not talking
shape.
about composition. We're talking about shapes. So the identity of a square ends at at its shape. It doesn't go past
Great.
its shape.
Therefore, the identity of God, who is, right, in Christianity, a spirit, ends at the spirit. It's that
Yeah, but
simple.
a spirit is not something that's experientiable. A spirit is something completely abstract with no physical representation whatsoever,
But a
contrary to
square
the
is
square.
too.
No, 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 no. Let me give you an example. When I describe a square, I say to you that anything that has four angles. So now tell me, what is a spirit?
So, what is a spirit?
Yeah. Define a spirit in the same way that I define the square to allow God to be a spirit and be something real and be something that's not like Superman or complete fantasy. Because we know that the concept of a square is not complete fantasy
That
because
is a very good word to use. We know. That's a very good word. We know.
we know what.
You just said we know. However, my definition of what a spirit is, right, might not be complete or total knowledge because I do not have total knowledge. However,
But you
what
don't
I
have any
understand
knowledge
as
at
a
all.
spirit,
You only have assumptions. There
said
is
again,
nothing that you believe about spirits that's provable, testable, or repeatable. Everything you know about spirit, you are still at the stage of assumption. You haven't even grounded any single test as far as what you think spirit is. That's why, really, when you deal with spirit, you're dealing with a matter of faith.
to accept to be
You,
true.
and the idea of spirit has no substance. So guess what? Your attempt to defend the idea of a spirit is like you trying to defend the existence of Santa Claus. I'm sorry, bro. And if you're gonna defend the idea of Santa Claus by pointing to the fact that people dress up like Santa Claus during Christmas time, then I can understand where you're coming from and be like, okay, yeah, no hope for this guy.
I would not say that.
Spirit, the
However,
idea that human beings have spirit is just an assumption from a place of complete lack of knowledge. It's like it's like something strange happened and we all just kind of like made up what we think it was with no facts whatsoever. We're completely not educated on the subject. And then guess what? After some time, somebody comes and does some research, find out what actually happened, and it's completely off from what we thought. So either we change or we move forward. Human beings are not spirit. Human beings are physical beings in totality. But within our physicality, we have certain characteristics due to our unique constitution. Those characteristics allow us to have certain abilities in different places at different times in different ways.
okay, my question.
So we are an autonomous biological machine. We are no different from cars. We just have different software and different hardware in a different composition, and we just turn to be organic in a real sense that we have discovered about ourselves. Now we wonder to ourselves that okay, within our biological machine, do we have the ability to wirelessly project our mind or the data within ourselves like we do with our artificial machines? We are curious if we have that ability. Do we have the ability to store the information within our body in a cloud system? But you know how the cloud works, right, bro? With
I do.
computers.
I understand. I am cybersecurity.
Exactly, data centers, right?
Okay.
Bro, you know, most people, when they hear about the cloud and having space on their phone, they think that it's literally a cloud in the sky.
It's not.
You
It's
need
a
a
server somewhere.
physical. The cloud is actually a very physical thing. It's not a cloud, it's a
It's a server,
mountain.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, is there some server somewhere that the human data is being stored? Who knows? Because the reason why I will even venture down that thought system is because a lot of what we have achieved with computers is an attempted reverse engineering of what we understand of how brains work. Not just the human brain, even the brains of other species and animals.
Okay. I
So
go
our
there.
study of brain structure has allowed us to develop this with computers. So we wonder. That's why Neuralink is a thing. I guess some people somewhere truly believe that human beings can transmit thought. But that would not necessarily mean we have a spirit.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
like my computer doesn't have a spirit simply because the data in it can be stored in a server that's long distance. My
Okay.
computer simply has the ability to transmit or to tap into a network that then opens the door for it to transmit. If
Into
there
other
is such
things.
if there is such a network, that would be interesting. And maybe there is such a network, right? Human beings have always wondered, are our dreams connected? Like, can I go to sleep and in a dreamlike state, my body can send out signals that allows me to interact with another human being in the same state in a far distance? I don't like to be a complete sadist about it, right? But there's crazy experiments going on out there. Some people believe that shit, they're going to test it out. That's how we should all be. I'm not going to say it is, and I'm not going to say it's not for right now.
Okay.
But because even if it is, it's actually not supernatural. It's very natural. Those are
It
all
is
natural
natural.
human abilities.
With that we didn't just know. And maybe some of these things existed back then. Last
No,
question though. Last question.
for
Last
sure,
question.
some of these things did. You know,
Okay,
there's
last
human beings
question.
that can hold their breath underwater for like 15 minutes. To the average person, that's a
They do
crazy
exist
thought.
today somewhere in around Australia, somewhere around the island. Can I ask
Right.
my last question before I go? Last question. Last. It's not a long question. This is to you to make nuance and make this a little bit. Um, anyways, give a little bit of integrity for this discussion, right? Which is really like nice. Saying all these things that you've said, and with the confidence that you've said these things, right, my brother. Is there a possibility that you might be wrong in all these things you are
Zero.
saying? And what responsibility does that set on you? You asked me the same question last time, and it was a very good question.
Zero.
I'm asking
There
it
is no possibility that I'm wrong.
good.
Like, yeah, so because my
Well, not
position,
good, but wonderful, interesting.
yeah, there's absolutely no possibility that I'm wrong because I have seen the truth of the world. And it's not that I've really seen, everyone can see the truth of the world. I'm just operating with a metric of honesty that we would only draw conclusion based on certified data. We shouldn't include uncertified data. And
Okay.
yet, religion for thousands of years built a whole mountain, belief systems on uncertified data.
Okay.
Bro, think about your fake pastors today. You think the idea of being a fake clergy in a religion would have started today?
No.
You don't think that there were fake prophets in Israel who also wrote scriptures that
They
also
were.
prophesied?
They were.
Okay, good. How do we know that the ones that actually won out and who survived were not the fake ones, and that the real
Good.
ones got wiped out?
That
How
is
do we
true.
know
That
that
is a
the
good.
Isaiahs, the Jeremiah, the Davids, those were the fake ones? How do we know that the prophets of Baal were not the true prophets? That's not the true God of Israel. We don't know because that's how history is. It's always written by the winners of wars.
The conqueror.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
that's why in my opinion, you should not build your worldview on that
Okay.
because there's just no way. There's just no way any of the narratives in the Abrahamic religions are true.
Okay. So
It's quite literally the Abrahamic religion is more fictitious than Greek mythology.
okay. So having said that, right, you are basically in a sense saying you have total knowledge and you are assuming omniscience about these facts. Or you are assuming you are saying that you have total knowledge and you've done all the research necessary in the world and you have all the information to come to a very justified and realistic answer to the fact that we on this side are basically we need to see the light. However, I beg to disagree,
No, I don't think you need to see the light. Let me be honest with you about the condition of
I beg to
humanity.
disagree. That's not true.
This is a very harsh reality. Okay. This is a very harsh reality, and most people don't want to accept this reality. But guess what? Somebody's gonna be in charge
That is true.
because there's more than one of us.
We'll
Somebody's
fight.
gonna be in charge. Somebody's gonna be more powerful, and somebody's gonna want things done their way, whether it's right or wrong. Now, if it's not you, then that means that you're somebody's slave. If you are not the one whose will everybody's following, then you're following somebody else's will. So what do I mean? In this world, bro, we are born with systems that are established so much that we're not born equal. We're not born equal in the world. Some people and some bloodlines will be completely wiped off the earth because of the decisions that they make. Some groups will go extinct. Some people are gonna suffer. Some people are gonna be stolen from. There's gonna be a lot of pain and suffering in the world. That's just the harsh reality.
Okay.
Whether you go up a mountain, you come down, whether you spread kindness and goodness and you teach people right and wrong, human beings, as long as there's many of us, the world is gonna be fucked up to a certain degree.
Okay.
When we
All right,
accept
man.
that, when we accept that,
Mm-hmm.
only one thing becomes necessary. Just make sure you're not the one who's the slave. And if you're a slave, free yourself. That's it. If
Okay.
if someone has to be the slave and someone has to be the master, the next time around, I'd rather not be the slave.
Okay. Okay. Calm down. It has not gotten to that. Okay. Okay. All right, man. Thank you. It
I
was a
don't think you understand. The slave here
I
is poor
understood you.
people.
That's why I'm
No, no,
laughing.
no, no. I'm not talking about black and white. I'm talking about
Okay.
rich and poor.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
You
This
you have
guy.
a job,
Okay.
right?
Say it again.
You have a job, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You get to clock in, right?
No, but I don't clock in, but yeah, I just go to work
Technically,
basically.
somebody got to track your time, right?
Yeah.
And you have to prove that you're being productive on your time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Harsh
then you
reality.
wait every 2 weeks for that person to pay you, right?
That actually happens.
And then you have just enough to survive. If not, it's slightly more than you need to survive, but most of the time you have just enough to survive, right?
Not too far. Not far. Not far from the truth.
Okay.
Hmm.
Bro, okay, think about what I just described, and that describes your life. But I'm pretty sure your life is not like shit. You seem like you're quite capable. But can you imagine how many people are living paycheck to paycheck?
That is true. Some don't even live
That
paycheck to
is slavery.
paycheck.
That is a type of slavery. If you always have just enough to eat from your source of hard work, that means you're not working to live. You're working to survive. Literally. You gotta wait for next paycheck so you can live another 2 weeks. So much that if you miss a check, you're fucked.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is some people's
That
reality.
is the reality of this world. Now, who made it such that it is like that? They're rich and powerful. And how did they do it? By telling us lies, by manipulating us. And when the lies and manipulations don't work, they use violence. That's the history of human governments and people of the world. And the idea of God has been their most powerful, most efficient tool. That's why I know that even if there is something out there, it's not the Abrahamic gods. And even if it's the Abrahamic gods, it ain't got no problem to do with me. I'm
And
telling
that's
you,
totally
if
fine.
if
That's
the Abrahamic God exists, I don't think that it will be a stupid entity. You see, we have these debates on the internet, but you guys have never really considered what a debate would be, a genuine conversation between a human being like me and God. Like if God was standing in front of me, right? Yours God, and pick whichever one you want, Muslim one, Christian one. If I run into Jesus Christ, and first of all, it's gonna take a lot for him to convince me that it's Jesus Christ, right? Because
hmm
he's gonna have to answer the racial nuances, the changes in the name, why he chose the least efficient method of communication to reach out to me. I want to show him what is unrighteous about my holy skepticism so as not to fall into temptation. Because my sovereignty as a human being, my sense of self, is the highest level of sovereignty that I have come to experience and to know. And in order to believe in Christianity, I am being told to submit that by faith. It's a risky investment. So guess what? I chose to abstain from investing my money in that. I invested my money in what I knew will work, and it has worked, and allowed me to achieve the same fruits as those who spend their whole life in that religion, if not better. So why do I get to go to hell and he gets to go to heaven?
But
And
it's I don't think it's never been on that. It's never been qualified based on the how better your life quality of life. It's
bro,
I
if
don't think
it's
it's
not
ever.
based on your quality of life, bro,
Mhm.
then not only do I think that
It's
believing in
stupid
God
too.
reduces your intelligence, I think it genuinely makes you stupid. If you are
Hmm.
so stupid to not know when something is too good to be true,
Hmm.
then
So
you don't even deserve sympathy.
are,
If
are
I didn't
all
know what I knew about
relationships are
religious
all
indoctrination,
relationships engineered for the betterment of quality of life, as in a
say,
sense of maybe getting more money and stuff like that?
say that again.
Are all relationships engineered, right? Just to, in a sense, out of like just for what you can get out of it? In a sense, like, is it about
Yeah,
money?
yeah. All
Okay.
relationships is for survival. It's not for love. People like hate me when I say this, right? Anybody out there that believes that and you're building your relationship on love, you're a fool. You're a fool. That's why you're gonna get disappointed. In fact, love is good, but love is good when it's part of the equation, but it's not good when it is the main focus of the equation. That's how I know that the Christian God is the least likely to exist because their relationship with their God is based on love. Do you understand that love cannot exist between two entities that are not of equal level of of beinghood?
Equal parity.
Yeah,
I
like
understand.
humans can only like exchange love among each other. The way we understand the concept, a human and a dog cannot exchange love. You think the dog loves you? He doesn't fucking love you. It's because you're the one feeding him. How about you step away? Let me start feeding him and see if that dog is not going to be loyal to me. And that is true even in our relationship. Your friends, your brothers, your co-workers, your father, your mother, everybody. Those are all temporary alliances that we
To
make. Those alliances are illusions in the
to
grand
to
scheme of
to
things.
to say this is very dangerous, and it's to treat
It is
human beings
they.
as a means to an end instead of ends in themselves. To say this is to treat
No,
human
no, no,
beings
no,
as
no, 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 no.
instruments and objects
Yeah,
of enrichment instead of
yeah.
as means to
Every
as
every
means in
relationship is
themselves.
an investment. You're investing time, but unless your time ain't worth shit, then yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe other people's life is more valuable than yours.
Okay,
Maybe that's how
now,
you
okay,
see your life.
all
But
right.
anybody that is conscious of themselves will
Mm-hmm.
understand that people's lives out there can only be as valuable as your life is to you. You cannot you cannot value somebody else's life more than you value yours. So if you value your life at a high level, you have the ability to value other people's life at a high level. But you will not be able to value another person's life at a high level if you don't hold yours to a high level. Now, if you hold your life to a high level and then you choose to lay it down for someone else, that's why that's called the mark of friendship. It's a stupid decision, but it's done out of friendship. If you're
All
my
right,
best
bro.
friend and I sacrifice myself for you, it's
Mm-hmm.
a stupid decision. The only reason why we justify it is not for logical reasons, it's for sentimental reasons as
Okay.
human beings.
All right, bro.
And sentimental reasons is what allow us to build religion. That's why religion works sentimentally, right? If you just want to feel good because of what someone said to you, religion is good for that.
All right, my brother. I have to go down now because I have to prepare. I have to do
All
something. It
right,
was
bro.
nice speaking with you,
Thank you
bro.
for your
Thank you so
time.
much. Mhm.
Always. Shit. Let's try not to. I am so bad at this.
Bakang,
I'm just gonna stop saying
Ba-
stuff.
Bakanga.
Cindy, I cannot talk
How
to
are
you
you now?
today
Why?
because I wanted to bring up one last disagreement before I call it quits.
Why?
Look at you saying why. Why?
One last what? How
What's
you
going on, man?
doing,
I just wanted
my
to bring up
brother?
one last disagreement. Cindy,
Hi.
you gotta catch me tomorrow, Cindy.
Yeah.
I need somebody coming in pure disagreement. You and I, we could
Why?
have a
Why?
conversation just like with the last guest. So I cannot put in that much time.
Hey, Wakanda forever. How are you?
Are
No,
you coming in disagreement?
you know.
Yeah.
What do you disagree about?
Yeah, you know, in the Bible it says a fool says there is no God in his heart. This is talking about you, exactly.
No, that's not talking about me. I didn't say it in my heart. I said it with my mouth. Does the Bible say a fool says with his mouth that there is no God? No, of course, I agree with the
No,
Bible.
no,
A fool, no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no, no,
wait,
no, 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 no,
wait,
wait, wait,
wait,
wait,
wait.
wait, 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 wait. I agree with you, bro. I agree with the Bible. The Bible says a fool says in his heart, there is no God. That's correct. Because a smart person will not say it in their heart. They will say it with their mouth. You see what I'm saying? So a wise man would say with their mouth, there is no God.
Yeah, yeah,
You see?
but you say in your mouth, but you don't say it in your heart. So you lie
No,
to
because
us.
my heart doesn't talk. My heart is here pumping. It's just pumping blood. My mouth talks. Then my brain thinks of it. Then my mouth says it, not my heart. Your Bible didn't say brain. Your Bible didn't say a fool says in his mind. He did not say a fool says in his
No,
brain. He
no,
said heart.
no, heart means brain. It's like
Get the fuck out
connected.
of here. The Bible did not say heart means brain. When did the Bible say
No,
heart
no,
means
no,
brain?
no, no,
No,
no. Wait.
you better don't add to the Bible. Does the Bible say heart or does it say brain?
What is the meaning of it when it say in
Heart,
his
heart
heart?
means heart right here.
No,
A
wait, wait.
fool says in his heart, there
What
is no
is the
God.
mean?
But a
Wait,
smart
wait.
man says with his brain, there is no God.
Wakanda, Wakanda, wait. What does it mean? Do you know what the meaning of when it says in his heart? It means like in his brain, in his mind,
No,
like in
that's not
his
what it
soul.
means.
Heart doesn't talk.
Is the brain a heart? Is the brain a heart?
No, like you have common
Is the
sense.
brain a heart? Is the brain a heart?
No, 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 no. The heart, not the physical heart. Like heart
No,
means no. Heart means it is what like your soul. What
brother. Thank you for your time, okay?
where
I said thank you for your time. Jamesy, which did they find? They come last minute. I won't go.
well,
Even Viola the same request. What did these people come find here?
Baganga,
Cindy.
can I ask you a question?
If it requires an answer that's more than 10 seconds, don't ask it.
He got a question for you.
You're not going to drag me into a conversation. I
Yeah,
told you, I'm not talking
it's
to
a
you. If we
straightforward
start, we're not going to end.
question, so he won't become.
You
No,
sure?
it's not. It's not a. It's not a conversation
Okay, I reserve the right not to
because
answer, but go ahead and ask.
I just wanted to know something. Why are you not in?
Why am I not what?
Why are you not in doubt? Why are you definite? Why are you not in doubt? Why are you so sure there is no God?
There has been no God there since the day I was born, regardless of what people believe. I've just accepted that reality. If I interact with a God face to face, I will say there's a God. Now, in the absence of a God and my analysis of the world, I don't see one. I don't see a possibility of one. And I haven't met anyone, despite I've met many smart people. There's a lot of smart people out there that can talk a lot of talk, but as soon as they talk, they walk away and there's still no God. And everything still runs the way it runs.
Okay,
You
if you
know?
are looking for something, how about if the problem is you don't identify God, you don't know how God
Uh,
looks,
if I had
because
a
if you don't
biological
know
need,
something,
if I had a
you
biological
can't
need
tell.
if I had a biological need to identify God, then I'll be worried. But there's no way in my biology, in my day-to-day life, that necessitates I have a God. So if there's a need for a relationship between me and God, maybe God is the one that needs me. And if God is too lazy to come and look for me, then I don't have his time, if there is one. Because honestly, even if a God exists, I mean, it's like there's a bird outside my house. That bird is not living his life based on his relationship with me just because it's my house. You see what I'm saying? Like the ants or the fly that's flying. No. You see, human beings, You have to start by looking at what a human being is. You see, all this education and all this great achievement, this is the work of less than 10% of humanity. The vast majority of human beings are sheep. It's always been like that.
Because the truth about belief is that you are going to be rewarded for accepting something that you are not sure of. That's what it means.
Jamila,
And a lot of believers, yeah, yeah, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Hello. A
I said
lot
I'm
of
hearing you.
believers that pretend, yes, a lot of believers that pretend to be so sure to know God, to be so sure of what God looks like, they are the ones making a mistake because they need to admit that the reason they are believers is because they are not sure, but they have accepted instead of rejecting.
Cindy, you are a one
Yeah.
trick monster. You always open the Pandora's box with the same lines. With the same lines. Huh? You so in all these years of knowing me, you don't know any other way to bait me into having a long conversation with you without using that specific line. We're not going there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't think they understand though.
Bakanga.
But you know what you're doing. Gems.
Of course.
Jamila, Jamila.
Yes, yes. I heard you telling people there's no love, so you've been fake. Ah, I thought you loved me.
I
There's no
love you.
love.
I love you. You understand the
You've been
context of
showing
my
me
love for
fake
you.
love. I just want the people to come here. I'm just here to expose you. I'm just here to. So it's either you've been showing me fake love or you're lying to the
Oh,
people.
you know what? Are you talking about
Which
like the
one is it?
actually? In
You
what
said there's.
context?
You say there's no real love. You said only. You said only survival. So which
I
one
said
is it?
love
Oh,
should
you've
not
been loving
be.
me for survival.
Love is sentimental, yeah, love is sentimental, and sentiments are like it's like the weather; it changes every day. So you should not build your you shouldn't build the foundation of your relationship on that. It should be on something more solid. It's an investment.
Your comment says some people
That's
just want to. All
see,
right. I'm good. I'm just gonna go. Go
I
do
must
this.
I must have summoned your ancestors with that specific statement.
That's all. My sisters are fine. Later, later, everyone.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. Bye, bye.
Hey, Cindy, to the rest of you guys, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You guys
All
got to
right.
check
Take
me out
care.
on YouTube, guys. If you're not checking me out on YouTube, check out the link is in the description. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. Time is so valuable these days, guys. Man, it's hard to come online consistently. Maybe the day I learn how to come consistently, the movement will grow. Huh? I just have to do it like one time. Thank you, my people. Religious people, remember. No one is saying you shouldn't believe. We just don't think like you think, okay? We're not enemies. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your neighbors. Be the best human beings you can be, guys. Ooh, hey, look, guys. There's a guy his name is Logos. He usually comes here, right? He's in Namibia right now, and the brother's got me some financial problems. To be honest, I told him to come on TikTok and share his story with you guys and see if there might be some people out there willing to chip in and help him out. I was supposed to do that yesterday, but I didn't go live yesterday. Today, I didn't hit him up before. So tomorrow, I'll be bringing up that brother to share his story, guys. So come tomorrow ready to do some contributions to help a brother out. If you got some, there's no stress at all, though. But there'll be a brother here tomorrow. All right? Just a heads up. All right, guys. Until next time, Bakanga is out. Ooh. Oh shit. I hope you guys didn't see that.
Oh.